Dirt Life Show with your host, George Hamill.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Dirt Life Show. I'm your host, George Hamill. Today we got an awesome show. We're going to have a Baja 500 recap. Ryan Edwards is going to join from Vision Wheel. He's going to co-host the show with me. Let me see here. We got some serious talent on this show. So, Toby Price, Paul Wheel's not going to be able to join us, unfortunately, but Joe Whining is going to talk about a little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff, so that'll be cool. Let me get Ryan on here so he can talk about some Baja stuff as well. Let's see here. Some other guests. Caden McCachren. He was the UTV Unlimited winner in his Polaris Razor with Haley Hine in the co-driver's seat. Justin Davis and Dan Eckert are going to join us. Rhino, what's up?
What's up?
What are you up to?
Oh, just living my best life. How's my camera angle there?
I don't know. You're going to have to get down, get low.
Oh, shit. All right, hold on. What if I go like this? Oh, there we go.
While you figure out your technical difficulties, I'll finish the intro stuff. So Justin Davis, the Green Army, is going to join us. Dan Eckert. Christopher Polvoorde, you know that dude, don't you?
Yeah, and Justin Davis.
Big Green Army guy.
Big Green Army guy.
Let's see here. Brian Moore, he's going to join us, talk a little bit about the media stuff, the terribles, flying around a helicopter. Ethan Ebert and Jeff Proctor. They had a pretty good showing down in Mexico, too. And
they were ripping.
Dude, he was killing it, right? And then Evastar Racing is going to join us as well. So it'll be pretty cool to talk with all those guys. Let's get Joe Whining and Toby Price on here real quick. Dude, Toby was on one. he qualified first, like everything that he did.
They put it all together.
Yeah, like on point for the whole weekend, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get Joe and Toby on. We'll talk about it. See how those guys are doing. Toby Price.
What's happening, guys?
What's up?
What's happening?
Oh,
Joe Whining. What's happening, dude?
Hey, Tobes.
Joe.
Georgie, what's up, dude?
You guys both know Ryan Edwards as well?
Yeah,
How you guys doing?
Ryan.
Yeah.
So,
Indeed.
Baja 500, Ryan and I were just like barely talking about it, but Baja 500, I don't know if you could have executed any better, Toby.
Finally, one went to plan. We've been able to execute the qualifying side of things quite well for us all last year and this year, but yeah, it's just been that second piece of the puzzle that just hasn't gone to plan, and finally, got it to run smooth, and the BFG Ridge tyres, we had no flats all day, and passed the truck off to Paul at 360, and then Paul did an amazing job as well, and brought it into the finish line. So it was the Menzies Motorsport crew looked after us there with all our pits and everything, and done a great job with us getting us in and out really quick. And it was a perfect executed day. So we're stoked.
Yeah, for sure. Joe, was there any changes that you guys made to execute like that?
No, not really. We kind of stuck with the same plan. We just find we had a Mason put a little bit extra love into the prep of the truck and got us a really good truck. And we recently brought Brent Bauman. He came aboard with us to do some navvying with Paul and Toby. And that kid, every single night doing notes and working on notes and looking at this and doing that, and he hardly ever slept.
That's huge.
He's a huge part of that game. Him and Toby and Paul, they're all on the same page, and there's a lot of work that goes into this pre-run and trying to find the best lines throughout the course and hit all the VCPs and all the speed zones, and it's a lot of work. And like I say, Brent really stepped up. He did a killer job doing it, along with, of course, Toby and Paul just behind the steering wheels. Great.
Ryan, you can talk about putting all that together, right? Like, you got qualifying is super important in trophy truck now because it's so tight, right?
Well, and then pre-running in the trophy truck game, if you're not racing the last couple days around the course to figure out the course, you're not even going to be in the top 10.
What is that like? How does that actually work out then, Toby? Like, what do you guys do on the last couple of days of pre-run, like Ryan said?
Yeah, so basically, we get over probably week and a half earlier to the race. we just go to the shop and get everything set up, loaded up, ready to go. We have about probably 10 people that fly from Australia, and then including some people. So there's probably about 8 people that fly from Australia. And then, we have a couple of Mexicans that help out with everything. And then, the biggest change, we made this year was, for this race, we had Brent in the truck with us. And then also including Joe, being basically head of everything for us to control everything. So, I think those two bits there have, been quite a big change for us and made a big difference. But, the pre-running part of it, you're out every day for – my section was 360 miles, so I was out basically full days every day.
Those are the longest days.
The longest days, them ones. So we're just trying to get every bit of the notes we could. And then virtually straight after qualifying, still we went straight out on the track, done some more pre-running, and then started to finalise some notes of some areas we thought was going to open up and make some lines and something different. And and then even the last day before the race, we were still out doing a bit of pre-running in the morning and then just trying to rest up. Right. So it's it's a big task. A lot of people, like everyone hears it all the time, but they the work and the effort that goes in behind the scenes of it all, it's actually it's massive. So
did on the pre-running to race, like, did you finally connect it all to where you're like, all right, now I know I can take these lines and everything's just like dialed instead of just out there racing?
Yeah, for sure. It's always just trying to find new lines and find new areas that more so sometimes probably may not be as quick for the race, but it's a lot smoother and a lot easier.
Cleaner,
It's a lot cleaner. So sometimes you might take a line that feels a bit slower and sometimes is, but it's a lot easier on the truck that it just doesn't beat the thing. You've got a 500-mile race to basically compete, and even though these trucks are worth $1 million, they still break. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and as you know, one bolt could take you out of it.
Yeah.
Don't want to bring it up.
So I felt pretty bad. It's been looking pretty average on my side. I haven't been able to deliver a truck to the owner, Paul Wheatle, and that was the most satisfying part, was be able to give the truck to Paul in a pretty good, healthy shape. And Paul executed perfectly as well. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, unreal.
Does that make you guys think about, like, I don't know, everybody wants to think about the future. You always have your debrief, and you're like, how can we get better even if you win, right? Like, does that make you guys think about that whole smooth comment that you made? Like, there's smooth on the track, and there's also smooth in all the prep and the process and everything that goes on behind the scenes. Does it make you think about those little tiny details to make everything better for the next time, like the 400, the 1,000?
For sure. It's like I say, we had a fairy tale run at this one, and there's no guarantees that the 400 will turn into the same. So it's a little bit of chaos sometimes, and sorry, got a dog going off in the background here at the moment, but Watson. But he's it's always hard to know what the race is going to bring, but we always learn little bits and pieces along the way, and something that's going to help a lot more to get ready for the 400 and be stronger and faster there as well.
Yeah, because it's just going to get faster for that one.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit faster pace, a little bit shorter distance race, so the pace will lift a little bit because the trucks can kind of handle the 300-400 miles no problem. So it's basically just we're going to have to try and just stay smooth, consistent. Probably be faster and go from there.
Well, qualifying is that much more important, right, Joe? Because like you only have a certain amount of time to execute, and the mileage is going to be shorter.
Correct. And like I say, we would, between Brent and I, we would switch off pre-run, and I'd pre-run with Paul one day, and then I'd swap and pre-run with Toby the next day. And the whole time we're doing that, I'm looking at access roads and ways to access, and we're also getting intel on, okay, well, this is a bad section for rocks, so I need to have a tire in this area, or I need to have a crew over here. Which is nice about the Mexico races is we can do that.
Yeah,
we can pit wherever the heck we want to, really. So being able to pre-run and at the same time look at all these access points, that's just part of it too, making sure that, hey, this is an area where there's a possible flat. We need to have a crew sitting here. You know what I mean?
It's kind of crazy
then,
to think about that too, because like you know how like if you put away the wrench, you need it 5 seconds later. Like it's like if you leave a tire out on course, you're not going to get a flat there. So it's like bringing good luck to yourself. Too.
Exactly, and like you say, we had crews hopscotching all day long between the three of us. We had 3 different chase trucks, and like I say, Toby managed the tires and managed the truck, and everything was great. But who's to say that's not going to happen next time? So we just got to keep implementing and take the pros and the cons and focus on the cons and see if we can't make it better for next round.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the game is getting so tight, Toby. Like, I don't even know how to explain it because, like, I ask everybody the same question. Like, does it change the way that you deal with the race, or do you just go balls to the wall?
Yeah, it doesn't really change the way we approach a race, but yeah, like I say, a flat tire can cost you the race. Yeah. It's minor little things these days that are really bringing the whole thing unstuck, and it doesn't matter how much money you throw at it. It doesn't guarantee you nothing in this sport, and that's the hardest bit to take. From our very first Baja 1000, where we burned $1 million truck to the ground, till basically going through a whole year of failures and not really achieving what we wanted. It was definitely tough on Paul to try and keep accepting that and coming back, but finally being able to get that monkey off our back and get that 500 win was something pretty special. And I think we're the first Australians to win overall in a score championship race.
Yeah, that's big. Well, you went in history books again.
So we'll claim that as much as we can. I'm waking up with that trophy sitting right next to me every morning because it's been a very damn hard one to get. So it's
that's awesome.
But the competition is just crazy. Like you say, you got Polvoorde coming in, young up and coming talent that. Yeah, I'm sure in many years to come, he's going to be only stronger and faster. And then you got Bryce and McMillan's. Those guys are just, basically second to none to what they're doing. And then, we were fighting with Tavo basically to the finish line. And everyone know what that guy's like. He's a madman. And sorry, I had some nerves going when I climbed out. I think we only had a 3-minute 40 gap, I think, over Tavo. And I was like, I didn't quite give Paul enough leg room there, and he stretched it out actually and did.
What was the gap by the final gap? I never.
I think
saw it.
I think just shy of 7 minutes or something.
Yeah,
it was.
That's crazy.
Pretty crazy, like I say. 7 minutes. It hasn't happened like that for a little while. Like I say, you've watched the battles between Luke and Bryce, and they're coming down to 43 seconds at the finish line, and it's not to say that it won't be like that at the 400, but it's to get that run we had there. Like I say, we just had a good, flawless, clean run. We did our homework, and like everyone else does, and unfortunately, just some little things played into their hands that didn't pan out for them, but it worked out in our favour, and we'll learn from it. We'll come back for the 400 and be ready and see if we can try and back another win up. It'll be unreal.
I was walking past you doing some of the live broadcast stuff at Score, and I was walking past you as you were, talking to the fans, and you had finished. And I don't want to say I could see the emotion on your face, but I kind of could, right? Like it looked like it was a relief. It looked like Toby was like Toby, right? Like, fuck, we got this thing off our back. Like, it's good. Like, and you were really happy. I mean, you had a smile ear to ear. Like, it was good.
Man, that was it's crazy to think about it. It's like I haven't done full seasons over here, but I've been coming over since probably 2016, starting with Jesse Jones. Then that's how I met Joe through that program, and then I've done numerous races here, and to be over the years gradually getting the grasp of everything and understanding of the trucks, and knowing how quick I can actually drive these things. And it's there was definitely a lot of weight lifted off the shoulders because some people don't realize you do read a lot of the comments of things that like, he's a bike guy, he's too hard on the truck, he's just breaking it, and he's just being a clown and being an idiot. And it's like, man, if I could treat a truck any nicer, the thing should be able to do 3,000 miles. But it's just one of them things. Yeah, it's just you always have those people just cruise along and all those things. But to just get that monkey off our back, that felt amazing, and just to be able to hold a trophy for a finish line was unreal. Like, let alone trying to hold that finisher's plaque. That's a task in itself. But to actually the number one trophy was mind blowing. So I was pretty relieved, really stoked. And I think I still haven't stopped smiling since that day. So it's been cool.
Yeah, it's been super cool. Joe, like he's been saying honest and accountable stuff this whole time, right? Like Toby knows what he went through for everything to get to that point of winning the race. Like, and you see it in his, smile, and you see the work ethic and stuff going back. Like, it must have been fun for the crew to see him cross the finish line and Paul cross the finish line, first.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was, as you know, there's so much work that goes into it to prepare for it. You know what I mean? But to get to the finish line is the first step. And then not alone in the fashion that we were able to do it, it was good. It was really good. We were all super happy, and like I say, with the exception of Menzies doing our fuel and tires for us at 2 pits, all we had was 10 of us.
Was that the first time you guys used Menzies for pits?
No, we used them up in San Felipe.
Oh, okay.
And they do an outstanding job, to be honest with you. Those guys they've been doing it forever, and they're serious about it. And fortunately, we haven't come in right behind Bryce or right in front of Bryce, stacked on top of each other. But it's going to happen, and we'll just make the best we can out of it. You know what I mean? But it's been good. It was good to get there finally.
That's a big credit to Steve and Bryce as well. Like, to accept us into that whole program, and
especially since you're a contender. You know what I mean?
Since we've been a contender, and they've known we've been a contender for probably the last few races. When we basically said the only way to be able to try and get this to work is by bringing in a full, proper professional team that does the pit service all the time and practice these things.
Well, and they know the truck too. It's the same truck.
It's the same truck. They know the truck really well. They ticked all the boxes for us. And when we thought we're dreaming when we were asking. And then when they turned around and said, "Yep, no worries, we can make this work." It kind of blew us away. And they've been a big part of being able to get this first win for us as well. So it's massive big credit to them. And can't thank the Menzies guys enough for it. It's unreal.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. What was some of the highlights of the race for you? I wish we could ask Paul. I talked to him a little earlier today. He was doing the equestrian horse thing with his daughter. It's super cool.
Yeah, I think he's over in Germany somewhere now. So I've just been at the shop just cleaning some things up, bits and pieces. Look, honestly, just the normal Mexico stuff that really goes on. Like, there's almost had a head on with a car up through Mike's Sky Ranch, which was a little bit of a hairy one.
Yeah. I saw a good video of you going around the local traffic. Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Traffic there, and man, it's just crazy. It's like they know we're coming through, and it's just I know everyday life stuff happens and everything, but it's just these are 6,000-pound trucks.
I got a question for you. Since you're a bike guy, when you started catching the bikes, what's going through your head?
Look, honestly, I know 100% what it would be like on that bike. My section was really good.
Because you were at the beginning,
Yeah, we did the beginning section of it. So every bike rider we had, I gave them plenty of room, because I know having that thing behind you and 1,000 horsepower and just that big heavy truck, it's just, I gave them plenty of room. There was a couple that Paul said that decided to look back and then think that they could beat a trophy truck and stay in front of one and then pass them back onto it. And he was like, man, that gets a little bit annoying, because we're in a heated battle with Tavo and trying to race him, and we understand too they're probably in a heated battle and race as well. So it's a little bit of a tough one, but for sure it's would be a nerve-wracking time for any guy on a motorcycle. And motorcycles, that's been a bike guy, but I'm probably glad I'm not on a motorcycle, because and at the end of the day, I think if I was getting caught by a trophy truck, I've had a really bad day. So it's not to say my speed's out of control and perfect, but I would like to be staying in front of the truck, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it's so wild. Joe, was there anything that you guys had to do special behind the scenes to make sure that the truck got to the finish line first?
No, not really. After qualifying, Robert and Neil Mason had came over to our little compound there in Ensenada, and the three of us worked on the truck together and just kind of tidied things up and made sure it was happy. And we just had a good truck. We had a great truck, and like I say, Toby was able to manage it, and I say really, we had a couple little issues throughout the day, but Brent was able to adjust it on the fly and kept us going. Thank God.
Well, we talked about it before, and I asked this question to most of the professional guys, even Menzies and all those guys, but like qualifying is so important now. Like I feel like desert racing, like it didn't used to be like this, right? Now I feel like it's like IMSA or like Supercross. Like qualifying is everything. Does it feel like that to you guys too?
For sure. Yeah. No, qualifying is huge. Like I say, this was the first time in a long time pretty much opening up the road. So there's some extra nerves there because the dust is settled from the bike guys, and cattle has wandered back out onto the course, and people are trying to drive to their spot where they want to
and
come through.
There's no dust to catch either. You can't get excited and go after somebody.
Correct. You know what I mean? And it's just, you don't know, you come over a hill and you don't know what to expect. Like you say, a cow, horse, goats, you know what I mean? So it was a little nerve-wracking, but like I say, there's no dust, so that's good.
Does that put more pressure on you, Toby?
Yeah, for us, it's nice to have no dust for sure. And for sure, it's the pressure is always there on qualifying day because you pretty much have to run at 99.9% in that whole lap to be in that probably top 10 group. And but like I say, I think if you can be in that top 4, top 5 group, you've got a really good chance of being able to do well in the race. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to be out in front straight off the bat because, like as Joe was saying, you deal with a lot of extra stuff that cows wandering back on the track and everybody probably shifting another spot to try and get to another place to watch from or something. And to deal with that straight up, it's definitely difficult and a lot more to manage. But at the end of the day, we can see what's in front of us, which is sometimes a bit of a help. Like it's just scary when you're passing people actually on the race course, driving the race course, and you're like, well, a truck 20 seconds behind me off my back door and driving in the dust. Like it's
not going to see him.
You're not going to see him, and you're in a pretty high risk of either hurting somebody else or hurting another racer. And it's like, so you're a little nervous on that, but you've got that clean air and that fresh run. It definitely makes the job a little easier to not get any flat tires and stuff like that. So it's a big help for sure. But we enjoy the qualifying. I love to be able to wind that Joe Gibbs engine out to about 8,000 RPM and let it sink and get back as quick as we can.
Yeah, that was funny too. Like Ryan and I were sitting there qualifying. He just pulled up, and I was talking to Joe on the starting line while you guys were in the truck. And I go, I'm just going to stand over there by the rear tire and just let it, watch it eat, dude.
Just eat it up.
It did look pretty cool. Is it easy to knock out those qualifying laps like that? Because I feel like with the way that everybody's been driving, because what was it? Just a few seconds between you
I think it was 10 seconds, dude, like between the top 5.
That's like moto shit, right? Like, you got to be on point.
Yeah,
that's wild.
100%. You got to be on point with that qualifying lap. And, I think we had just shy of 3 seconds over Alan, which he won the San Felipe 250 race. We're in a good battle with him. So he's definitely on the move in the qualifyings and that now. And, we were able to, get it up the front, which was nice. But it's, you can't make a mistake. And that's probably the most pressure of the whole weekend because you can make one little mistake, and if the truck's upside down, you really haven't started right. And Robert and Neil, Robert preps our truck for us at Mason, which is super helpful as well. I'm sure he wouldn't be too pumped doing a late night over at our place, trying to put the truck back into shape, and also well. So it's it's definitely one place you can really lose the whole weekend to be a good weekend, but you need to be at that front and you need to be on the gas and trying to give it the best start that you can possibly get.
One of the things that I was thinking about that's like, I don't want to say you have an advantage, but you kind of do, right? Like coming from moto, the qualifying, some guys that race desert, right? It takes them an hour to get going, right? Like they got to get warmed up, they got to get going. And for that qualifying, like you got to be like milliseconds or like right on point. From
it's like supercross. Like you just got to go all in.
100%. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, you got to flick that switch and go from being cool, calm, collected to basically wide open and full gas in a matter of split seconds. And coming from the motorcycle background, I think that definitely helps us a fair bit as well, because on a motorcycle, it's life or death sometimes, and you can really injure yourself if you're not on point and just clicking every single time. And that's like at the San Felipe race, I just didn't feel like I clicked too well, so we took a bit of a conservative run there, and we still end up being third. But that day there, I felt on point. I liked that area where we qualify, and everything just seemed to match in perfect. And as soon as you cross that line, you try and flick that switch off as quickly as you can and save some energy for the race day.
But I mean, really, like, and how fast you guys are going, being able, like you said, San Felipe, you weren't feeling it, and you were able to back it down a little bit and not go out and do something dumb. That's what put you in the position you're in. You know, you could have went out and hung it out and did something stupid, messed up the truck, and you'd have been going backwards, you know? Exactly,
that's right. And I think that just comes from the motorcycle background a little bit. It's some days are days and some are not. And, just that qualifying didn't feel that great. So I was like, well, let's just bring a good truck in. We'll bring it in a good position. I know I can be in the top 5 side. As long as we can be in there, we'll have a good chance. And, we were running really good at San Felipe 250 and caught up to the back of Alan. I knew I didn't have to pass him, so I was just sitting out the back of his dust, making sure we didn't get a flat tyre. And then, one silly $100 bolt. She decided to snap herself in half, and that's it, done and dusted. So it's, but it's sometimes it's a love-hate relationship with this sport. Sometimes it's sometimes good to you and sometimes bad.
Hey, so we get a lot of positive comments and stuff like that. It made me think of some of the younger people that are obviously fans of yours. And I always like to ask people this because you can provide a lot of motivation and a lot of guidance to a lot of these younger drivers that are out there. There's a lot of kids racing UTVs now, anywhere from 12 years old all the way up to, 20 in their mid-20s. What's something that you would tell them to do? Like you've said a couple times here, is like keep your brain or keep your wits about you during the race. Like what's some advice that you would give to these kids to be able to be in a Toby Price position in the future? Yeah,
look, it's for me, it's always just dream big. And take every opportunity with both hands. There's some days it's nice to win for sure, but just some days just things don't click. And when you can kind of remember how that feels that these days aren't clicking, they're the days you just got to maybe back it down a little bit, chase some championship points and look after it. And it's definitely a difficult thing, but it's great to see so many young kids coming through and following in my footsteps with motorcycles and hopefully now with some car stuff. And it's just keep at it, don't give up on it. And it's hard work. It's not all handed to you on a silver platter, and make sure you do the work, and good things will come. And that's what I've always kind of ran by. And as long as you're good to the fans that support you, the sport will love you back and keep you going.
Yeah, 100%. Joe, I think you agree with that too, right? Like you don't have to be the racer. You can also be a crew guy, but you got to have that never give up attitude like Toby's saying.
Yeah, for sure. You can't, even after this Baja 500 win, after the dust settled for a couple of days, and the crew was still in America on stateside, we all kind of got together and what happened and how did this go and what do we need to change? And like I say, you can't give up. Yeah. You gotta keep pushing forward, and everybody else is pushing, so you got to keep one step ahead if you can. And that's, like I say, just keep moving forward. It ain't easy. Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
Speaking Speaking of moving forward, Toby, does that mean you're going to keep letting your hair grow?
I'm trying, mate, but I think that's why I keep this cap on pretty solid. She's starting to get pretty thin on top, so she's been a stressful few months for me as of late. But yeah, look, we're trying to grow it out, but it's a long old road. Don't worry, it's been like it's probably been 8-9 year growth, so it's not that long for 8-9 years. So
hey, that wind will make it grow a little bit more. It's like miracle grow on that bad boy. Hey,
Relieve some stress.
Thank you guys very much for joining us. We really appreciate both of you guys taking the time. Hey, and congratulations on getting that monkey off your back, dude. You guys crushed it, so you should be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us on, and yeah, appreciate everything. So we'll see you at the 400.
Later, guys.
See you guys.
Talk to you soon.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to get Haley Hine and Caden McCachren. They're going to come on talk about their win.
Dream team.
Yep. They're talking about their win in the UTV class. So Polaris Factory Racing comes home with another win as well. That's pretty cool to see. And you know what's crazy, Ryan, that I think about, like, whenever I think about the UTVs is, I don't know, we talk about it. I feel like it's a broken record, but they're, like, seriously closing the gap. Like, they're going so fast.
What was crazy to me was my dad, when we were watching, he's like, all right, we'll stay for the 10 cars and then start leaving. I'm like, let's wait for the UTVs. My dad's like, oh, that's going to be another hour or so. Sure as shit, like 2 10 cars come by, and then here comes Caden. That's how fast they're going.
It's crazy, right? Hi, Haley.
Yeah.
Hi, George. Hi, Ryan.
Hey-o.
Hold on one sec. Hey, Joe Whining, you got to hit the button, dude. Like, click that thing off. Otherwise, Caden's not going to be able to come in, dude. There we go. All right, so let's get Caden on here. How's your day, Haley?
That's pretty good. I'm sunburnt. I'm 5 days in of chasing Indy cars around, so.
Oh, back to
tired,
IndyCar
but I'm
life,
good.
huh?
Yeah.
Holy cow, Motorsports Life. Caden, what's up?
How are you guys?
We're doing very well. How are you?
You look angry.
No, I was just basking in all the good things you guys are saying about me.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, maybe we'll go the other way with it.
Yeah. Should we get all crazy?
Yeah.
Hey, so first of all, congratulations to both of you guys.
Big winner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I texted Nelson earlier. I'm like, dude, that purple car, man. Can't sleep on the purple car.
What happened to the window net?
Oof. Who's
Was
going
that
to
Haley's
explain it?
malfunction, or?
The window net seemed to be strategic weight shedding, and some people seem to think that's the reason I won. So maybe it
does make you
definitely
go
wasn't
faster.
on purpose, but yeah, we had a little accident about mile 40, but I'm not going to talk about it.
I love how
Let
everybody
that
can
one
always
go.
bitch about something, though.
Oh yeah,
Freaking window net.
Haley, how was the
Sorry,
race
one.
for you? Give us a little bit of a breakdown from the passenger seat.
Super uneventful. Not having to get out has been perfect for 3 races in a row. I gotta say, this is probably the most I've ever talked in a race.
Whoa.
I was calling notes over the notes. We were in dust
That's
for a
new.
lot of time, so it was a lot of reading the line and making sure that we were as far as we could get into the turn before we had to turn and whatnot.
Was that stressful or what?
I wouldn't say it was stressful. It was, I don't know. It wasn't bad.
Was it just different? You're not used to talking that much. I know Caden just likes to drive. Don't bother him.
Yeah. We have our notes pretty dialed on the setup we have that I don't have to do much work, but this time I did, so.
Caden, was it pretty, I don't know, when you say she was talking the whole time, does that make it different for you, or do you just like to go?
He wasn't.
Yeah, I think she
Even
said
listening.
this is the most she's ever talked in a race. It's probably the least I've ever listened in a race. So it's good to have somebody like speaking to you in your ear and keeping you on course. But I pre-run pretty well and know the course. But obviously, like she said, when you're in the dust, you kind of can't pre-run the dust too much. So she's definitely super helpful in the car, and seemed like we're making a pretty good team here.
Yeah, well, clearly, yeah. But when you talk about the dust, right? Like, so we just talked about, when we were talking to Toby, we just talked about passing dirt bikes, and like you guys have a totally different job than they did, right? Because you're in the dust all day.
Yeah,
you got fast
they
cars.
started first with nobody in front of them.
Yeah, you got faster cars ahead of you. Like the job or the task to win is almost completely different because you have a completely different race course with all the trucks going. You got like people in front of you with faster cars. Like, I don't even know. Like, what is it like being in the driver's seat?
It's pretty hectic, but I mean, I always say that I like it super difficult. Like when the races are super hard and people, get upset about the race courses becoming more difficult and more difficult, but I like it. On the dust side of things, it does make it more difficult. And again, I like that kind of aspect to it. I think it brings a aspect of having to slow down once in a while and not always just going as fast as you can. I don't like going too fast. I like, chilling out and just cruising for most of the day. And after
Being a little more technical.
about mile 200, we did kind of just cruise the rest of the day. So yeah, it's fun, but sometimes getting in the dust is pretty climactic. I would say it gets scary once in a while when you can't see nothing.
Does Caden get does he get excited when he sees dust, or is he like, no, just tell me where to go?
I don't think it's excitement for anybody, but it makes it different when you can see 3 helicopters ahead of you, and you just know you're going to be in heavy truck dust for a second here. So you got to hang on either way. I mean, that's off-road racing.
Yeah, but that's using your tool set to make those decisions. You know what's funny is that you guys bring this up, and I still remember. Oh, nice, dude. I'm jealous. Your dad was the one that gave me the best answer. I go, how do you go fast in the dust? Can you see through it? He goes, no, you just slow down.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Like,
yeah.
Just straight up.
Yeah, but that's it. But he's right. Like, that's the way that you do it. And one of the other things that I noticed when you were talking, Caden, is you said, I like to chill, or I like to, have a good pace. Ryan, that pace is still fast as F.
Cooking. Chilling. His chilling, is way
saying
faster
good things
than
about me again. Making my ego go
take
up.
it while you can, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want us racing against you, dude. It's not going to work out very well.
George will just stop for tacos every 5 miles.
As long as he brings me some, I'd be stoked on it.
Yeah.
So what was some of the most eventful things that happened, or was it a pretty chill race?
I said this at the finish line, but that section from mile 1 to the finish was all pretty hectic, I would say. And it kind of always is that way. And with the classes that start in front of you, with how fast a lot of our competitors and even everybody on my team is so fast that, you gotta keep the pace rolling. And anytime you're stopped is just going to kill you. So I'm really focused on no stop time. And that does, mean you have to slow down once in a while, because most of those mistakes are made when you're driving over your head. So I never drive over my head. I don't think it makes any sense to do it. So there is times when you're in the dust, though, that you just, you have to get through it, and you can't see anything, and you can't slow down. It's not an option.
And I don't think a lot of people realize how tight the start-finish 40 miles is. Like, it's not wide open desert. You're literally single file through a lot of it.
Yeah. So we're obviously, back in the maybe almost 100th car off the line. 4-wheel vehicle, and I don't know the exact time frame on that, but everybody behind the trophy truck starts 30 seconds apart. So let's just say that's 40 vehicles. That's 80 minutes of cars.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's 20 minutes of cars. However the math works out on. It's just they're just stacked
not
up
a math
in front
whiz.
of you, right? And definitely not a math guy, but they're super stacked up in front of you, and the guy you're trying to pass is trying to pass the guy ahead of him. So he's not gonna let you by, and you don't expect him to, but it's definitely a lot of cars and not a lot of mileage. So that first 40 miles is kind of the only thing I ever pray to get through is just, get me to K77, get me to Ojos, and I'll be good the rest of the day. But
kind of take a breath.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like when he explains it like that, Ryan, now I know, because I wouldn't want anybody talking to me. I'd want to be fully focused if I had to deal with all that stuff. And I'm not saying that bad about Haley. I'm just saying, in general, anything. But, you have to have that level of focus, because everything that Caden just said is going through his head every 2 seconds, every half a second.
And you have to have the trust of the person next to you that they're going to tell you the right thing, that Haley's not going to say right and it's a left or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's what notes are for.
That's what them notes are for.
Don't catch me in the last 10 minutes, though, because after 10 hours of talking, I forget.
All you can do is just think about the tacos, I guess, or French fries.
Sleep for hay.
Blowing bubbles.
Dude, for real. Was there anything that happened on course that you were like, because I like to debrief after the races, right? And you want to always do better. Was there anything that you were like, you know what? I definitely could have cleaned that up?
Not necessarily. I think, you're taking what's given to you most of the time in the race. And if you're not given a good set of cards, you can't play them well. So, you just, there are opportunities arise when you feel like you're not in a great spot, but the guy behind you could be in a bad spot too. And it's no biggie. We got up over Mike's down for Mike's mile 300 and whatever, 320, and had almost a 10-minute lead. So from there, it was like, okay, sweet. This is going to be an easy day. I'm going to cruise this in, no problems. And we got to the crossover road at mile 340. So I had about 20 miles of thinking, I'm going to just drive to Ensenada pre-run day. And then we caught a bunch of truck dust, and we just sat in truck dust for a good 80 miles straight. And that I lost almost 3 or 4 minutes to the car behind me there, and it was like, this might not turn out well. But thankfully, I built that gap to where it never got that close, and we were able to work through the trucks super patiently, and got over to Europan and Ojos, back into Ojos with clean air, and we were good from there.
How's the pace been since last year, Haley? Have you got to understand how much faster you guys are going now than you did before? Because it seems like it's quite a bit faster.
Yeah, I think from the start of the Polaris team, the pace has been fast from these 4 drivers especially, and with everybody else. But I think it's just growing and growing and growing, and it's going to keep getting faster so long as everybody keeps pushing these cars as hard as they can.
Yeah, it seems like it's pretty wild, Ryan. Like I hear talk, behind the scenes of people getting wider cars, getting faster cars, different suspension components. Like, it just blows me away how crazy fast these things can go.
Yeah, I remember riding in George's Pro R when he first got it. I'm like, this thing's stock, and we're killing Barstow right now. Yeah. I couldn't imagine being in a car like you guys are racing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too, is as you were saying, people are building wider cars and more shocks and everything, but we're taking basically stock Pro Rs and running that same pace and leading the pace, which is crazy.
It's got to feel pretty good, Caden, to be going that fast too, especially because you've driven the faster cars too. I mean, I remember seeing you, was it the first time, I think, when you were in Laughlin and you drove your dad's truck 2 years ago?
What about it? Yeah,
no,
I was
in
2022.
It was a 2-day race.
That was a completely different, I don't want to say it was out of your wheelhouse, but that was a completely different thing than, taking the RS1 or whatever cars you were using.
RS1 to trophy truck.
And and to see the level that you achieved there, I mean, some of the techniques that we talked about this before, your braking and your throttle control and the way that you manipulated the vehicle. And then, I don't want to say going down, but going to the UTV now that you're driving, you're taking all that stuff and you're making it next level. It's pretty cool to see, dude.
What I can say to all that is we have a little race shop down in Vista, and I'm starting to not call it a race shop anymore and calling it a speed factory, because those guys are just producing speed. And I don't know, I'm not really changing anything or driving any differently or faster, and the cars are going faster. And I can say that we have a lot more left to go. We're we just got our feet under us about 6 months ago here, 4 or 6 months ago. And now we're really on a roll to start, pushing these cars. Before it was okay, new car, new team. Let's make sure everything goes smoothly.
Thing.
Absolutely. And now it's okay, well, we kind of have a good base. This car's the Gen 2s we just came out with at San Felipe are incredible, and the next step further of the ETV progression. And now we're starting to, make speed between the Vista Shop SCI and the guys back in Minnesota. There's a good amount of people that are devoted to trying to make these cars faster. And that's ultimately up to us 4 drivers and 4 navigators on this Polaris team to prove that product. And we're doing it so far. And I'm going to do everything I can to keep doing it. And I'm sure Craig, Max, and Brock are all the same. And I'm just super thankful to have that team behind me, making it really easy on me just to focus on these races. And it's going to be super hard to beat for anybody, but they're trying, and they're trying harder every day. And we're going to Vegas Trino here in a couple months, and got a couple guys we haven't raced yet, and I'm stoked on that. And I'm sure they're stoked to race us. Hopefully at the end of the race, they're not stoked to race us. But that's what we're working on, just making sure we get there and we have every opportunity to win that race.
Well, you guys are doing a great job. So the last question that I have for you guys, what did you guys do to celebrate?
Haley went to sleep
for like 3 days straight.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I'll let her speak, but we got to the finish line, and I sat around there a little bit waiting for Travis was driving the red car. Travis Clark was driving Crick Scanlon's car, waited him to get to the finish line. And then after that, it was, straight to the hotel, walked into the room. I showered, got out of the shower. She showered. I went and walked outside to say, thank you to everybody. They're heads down, packing everything up, ready to go home. And then I walked back into the room 10 minutes later, and she was under the covers. I'm pretty sure she was under the pillow, not on top of the pillow. So she slept for a good little bit there. But yeah, not much celebrating. Just really focused on the next one.
Haley's just in her cocoon.
That was.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you guys did a great job. So congratulations, and thanks for taking the time out of your guys' busy schedule to hang out and talk with us.
Good
Thank you.
job. Two
I want to
thumbs
add a
up.
thank you. All the other partners that are on the Polaris team.
Yeah, please
BFG,
do.
VP, Fox, Method, all those guys, Rigid, Synchrony, Progressive. Each of those companies, for the most part, has changed something or developed something for this team, and they're putting that product into their retail space. So that's a big part of what I'm thankful about doing. Is for example, last year we came out with a BFG 35 KR2 UTV / side-by-side tire. And that's we were the flagship team to run that tire, and we won the 1,000 on the tire last year. So I'm pretty stoked to keep working with those partners and building cooler stuff for their companies and using it on my personal stuff as well.
Yeah, dude. When I get my version 2 Pro R, I'm getting that Progressive insurance, dude. Got to keep that thing alive.
Smart.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys later.
Later,
See you guys.
Thank you, George. Thank you, Ryan.
Bye.
All right. So up next,
We got
we
next.
should have a drum roll.
I had the list.
Green Army, dude. It's your boy.
Oh, Green Army.
Let's
wait.
see here.
Hey, nobody said Dan was going to be on the show.
Yeah, Dan the man. Let's see here. Let me get.
Emily's telling me to calm down on the language over here.
Who is?
Emily.
What did you say? You say a bad word?
Said bug.
Oh.
She just gave me a dirty look. Well, who got
All right,
Dan?
there we go.
Dan's
oh,
here.
dude. Look at Dan.
What's up,
Looks
man?
like a cop right now.
He's a wannabe cop.
Justin Davis and Dan Eckhart, what's up, dude? How are you guys doing?
What's going on,
Pretty
guys?
good.
Ryan,
So, first things first. Congratulations, dude. Bringing home that dub.
Wait, George, I'm beginning to see a trend here. You're going with all the winners.
I mean, kind of.
You should have just called this the winner's show.
Dude, I just wanted to say, I felt like, because I did the same thing when I was looking at the list yesterday, and I was like, dude, we got some pretty cool friends.
Yeah.
Hey, so we asked everybody kind of the same questions, but I'm going to ask you guys first. What was the worst thing that happened that day?
Probably right off the start, something was wrong. We didn't know at the time, but as soon as the truck would land off any kind of roller, it would just terribly grind and vibrate the whole truck. So we didn't even, I thought at Ojos it was going to be one of those days where we would just be like, this is not our day again. But come to find out, our drive shaft was actually a half inch too long.
Oh.
So that thing was trying to shove through the back of the tranny for 480 miles.
It made it the whole way?
It made it the whole way. So
Dang, it probably
that was
impressive. Ground down a bunch of those gears inside there and smooth itself out.
And it was one of those where, when you heard the noise, you're like, that is terminal. That's not going to make it. But we got to Ojos. They checked the truck out. They're like, well, we can't visibly see anything, so just keep driving until something falls out or blows up. So, yeah. So, and we kind of thought, we're like, well, maybe it's bedside rubbing. Maybe it's something small. Just keep driving and we'll see what happens. We got a long race. But yeah, it was too long. I mean, it messed up some stuff, but it made it. So, but the whole race, every time the truck would compress, it would grind and just shake.
And the whole time you're just trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, in your mind, in the back of your head, it took us a little bit is this going to make it? This can't be good. That noise is not good.
Dude, so Dan, what's the move? You just cross your fingers and when he's getting to mile 10, left over, mile 9, mile 7, and you're just like, oh, he's almost there.
So funny story is we didn't know what it was, but we just to keep him calm, we just told him it was a tire rubbing a new bedside.
Some body fitment issues.
Yeah,
we knew that was not the noise.
No.
That was you're like this
that was directly coming into our butt cheeks. We knew that was not bedside rubbish.
I can feel it grinding. Nope.
Yeah. So it was stressful all day just listening to that noise. Like it literally was there all day. And the closer you got to the finish line, you're like, please don't just break now. Like don't do this when we're looking at looking at Ensenada and then something falls out the back of the truck. So
wait, it sounds like Dan. So like you just told him, you're just like, dude, just forget about it, go.
Yeah, we checked everything and we said that's probably the bedside, and that's what we thought, but obviously it wasn't.
So Justin, does it make a difference to you, or are you just like, you know what, I'm just going to give her the beans and let it ride?
I mean, it kind of played a little bit of a part. Like in some of the sections, we did not push like we could have. Like I'd say we drove most of the day, like 65%, just because, at the time we didn't know what it was. So we're like, well, it's going at this pace and not breaking. It's not getting worse. So like, why push it? We're still up in front. And, after like mile 140 or something, we were first physically. We might not have been on time, but, we don't really pay attention too much to the trackers early in the race because they're jumping all over the place. They're not, it's not really the accurate who's leading the race. So we kind of were up front,
stacked up on each other.
Yeah, so we kind of got out front, kind of just set the pace, and then just kind of pace raced it. Didn't take too many chances. We got around some stuff in the dust and just real patient. We didn't want to get a flat, just keep it moving. In this class, you don't want to stop. You don't want to lose any time. Everything comes down to seconds, especially in this class. So we just went in. The game plan is, it's not right. Something's broken, but we're just going to persevere and not try to worry too much about it and see how all the cards lay out.
Do you like leading better, or do you like being in the dust catching up?
It kind of depends. Like when you're out front, I mean, in spec truck you're always in the dust because we don't get to start, towards the front of the faster truck. So we're in class ones, we're in the slower trucks and the legends. So we're never really clean air, I would say. There's always something we're catching. So, sometimes it's better to chase, but I think for this race, because we had issues and we are having vibrations, it worked out in our favor because we didn't have to push too hard. We kind of pushed towards the end when we got maybe a little bit close, but we just set the pace and make them make mistakes and try to chase us. They're having to get through all the other stuff we get, try to put as many cars in between us and them, and it worked out.
Dan, does that change the way that you guys do things on the back end? Like if the logistics, do you have to manage the race from the front and the back? Like you telling them, all right, push the truck only to 65% because you got 3 dudes that are 10 minutes behind, but if they got closer, would you tell them to raise up the pace?
I like to say yes, and I like to say no at the same time. So you don't want to give them the wrong times and let them lollygag back and try and conserve the vehicle, but then you also don't want to have them push the vehicle too hard. So it kind of plays it's a ballpark figure for chase crews. You got to be accurate on splits, but you also don't want to give him the wrong timing as well. So it all kind of plays into field when it comes to
it's all a mental game too. You don't want to stress Justin out and think he's way behind, and then
with this thing. Yeah, with this class, there's so many competitive guys where you have to be on it 100%, and one critical error can just cost you the race. I mean, this race we kind of won by a larger gap due to the herps having an issue towards the back, but towards the finish. But again, it's usually down to 10, 20, 30 seconds usually. So you have to be on your A game at all aspects.
Well, that's what
when it comes to chasing.
That's kind of where I was going with it, is because like we were pretty much on your guys' back door the whole time, right? Yeah. And then so you guys didn't have very much time to manage. And then right at the end, Pierce obviously tipped it over a little bit, so you guys had that little bit of a cushion. But that was only for a few minutes compared to the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we know these races are close, so you minimize your mistakes and keep it moving. And if you're out front and you're keeping it moving, it's hard to beat. I don't care who's out front. Yeah. When you're making the dust and they're having to chase through your dust, it's hard to beat.
Dude,
yeah, what plays another hard aspect is in this race is we actually race 2 cars. Justin's younger brother races in a Maverick R as well, and he had problems early on. And Jeremy's other driver hit a car in a silt bed at Race Mile 40 outside Ojo. So it played a whole different game into aspect where I kind of jumped off the truck and helped try to get the car back together, which we weren't able to. So again, having two cars is hard, especially cars that are on a different pace versus
completely different pace.
And a UTV. I mean, they're fast, but they're again, the fuel reach isn't the same. There's so many aspects.
It's not like Jeremy was racing the Pro Turbo class or whatever. He's in the stock class, so he starts further back too.
Yeah.
Not saying it's a lesser class, but just
but that's
how far back he is.
Though, because there's such a big gap in where the chase trucks need to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually have to have a truck in between the pits for Jeremy.
Yeah, because mileage is what, 100 miles, 120 miles, if that?
Yeah, we usually don't go. Yeah.
Pushing it.
Was there any close calls, Justin?
I mean, they're always just close calls. I mean, it's off-road racing, and off the start,
I got a pretty good video of you blowing a turn, so that's.
Yeah, I mean that happens. I mean, I think that first 120 miles before the summit was pretty stressful, just because we were behind Abdali. We couldn't see the bumper for like 100 miles. We were just in the dirt,
and you knew
in the dust.
Abdali was going to push everything
we kind of. It seems like every race, me and Abdali start right with each other. So we've kind of, we knew we could run with him. We just, played it smart. We actually caught him going up the summit. He went right at the Y and I went left. Not normally we go left, but I'm like, hey, let's try it.
Something different.
We're sitting in dust. Sometimes, it might not be as fast a line, but you can see, so maybe we can get around him. And we literally popped out like door to door. And I knew I was on the outside. I knew he wasn't going to give it to me. He was going to take off, which we all would have done the same thing. So, but we just kind of in the beginning just tried to be patient. That first 100 miles was pretty gnarly. Especially that right after Ojos, we almost actually like T-boned San Pedro because we were in such heavy dust. And my co-driver telling me, "Hey, we got to turn left." I'm like, where? He's like, "No, you got to turn left. I'm like, okay. So we just turned left. And I literally like monster trucked over a big old tree. And as the tree came down, he was like looking at us. I'm like, well, and the VCP pinged. I'm like, okay, well, I guess we can go this way. So, yeah, I mean, that beginning's always, it's always a mess. That first 40 to 80 miles, it's a hectic. There's a lot going on. You barely even warmed up. You're just trying to get through it and get to the open desert where you can actually go racing.
Yeah, totally. So, Dan, there's a couple things that you guys have talked about, like obviously the drive shaft issue. You guys are going to work on that. But a lot of the guys, like some of our favorite shows on the Dirt Life have been, fabricator shows and behind-the-scenes shows of stuff that happens behind the scenes, not just the racing portion of it. When you have a race like this, you have so many moving parts that are happening. How do you keep the team and manage everything that's going on?
It's not one person. It's a group of a lot of people putting in a lot of time and effort to get to the race. And that's not even including the actual race. So it's not one person. It's not Justin. It's not me. It's not David and Troy in the shop, Jeremy. It's everyone. It's a group effort. Chase guys, like I said, it's all got to sync up to make it work, right? And so to come out on top in this class is definitely an achievement in itself.
It's Ryan at Vision Wheel doing all the work.
It's me. I'm out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm keeping Dan in line, all right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't know how to put in a
100%.
TPMS sensor by now, we
They
need
got to
fire.
figure. Hey,
we got to figure it out.
Okay.
But in all seriousness, it does take a shitload of work to make all this stuff happen, right? And when you say that it's the team, it's not just people, right? It's people, it's leaders, it's workers, it's everybody doing their job and staying in sync the whole time. I mean, it's almost like an orchestra when you think about it, because you had two cars in completely different parts of Mexican Peninsula, and you have to manage all that stuff. So first of all, kudos to you, but when you think about it, there's a lot that can be learned when we talk about all this stuff for newbies that are coming into it and for everybody that's listening to the show. So what are the tips that you can give somebody that's wanting to be part of a team? Do you just stay in your lane? Are you structured? Do you try to be a leader?
I have a good one on this. I always have told people just, learn and work to your capability. Don't be the guy that knows everything. Don't be the guy trying to do everything. Be the guy learning and working with your strengths. I mean, the guys that think they know everything are going to mess up the race,
Yeah, they do something stupid.
Right.
Something new every race, right? You just got to, every race you learn more, and you're going to have issues this race, and we're already addressing those issues that we had. So every race you learn something and you got to fix it, and the next race will have other problems, and you got to address
and there's
it.
Just straight up Mexico problems. You never know what's going to happen down there.
It's Mexico. So.
Mexico teaches you something every time.
Yep.
That's actually a really good way to put it.
You can plan, you can prepare everything. Everything's good, and then Mexico, as soon as the race takes off, just all throw that out the window and start over.
All right, we're gonna get Christopher Polvoorde on real quick. Why don't you throw a shout out to everybody that helped you, Justin?
Oh, just everybody, again, like the whole crew that comes down, it's all, volunteers. So, they put their time on, get off work and all this stuff to come down and help us and try to succeed to be, to win. All of our guys put in a lot of effort to help us win and do a good job. And, obviously all the guys behind the other scenes, Toyo Tires, Ryan Vision, you guys, everybody that helps us out, Rigid, just everybody that really puts in the time. We've been working for 3 years. The people that sit behind us, we've had a couple of years of just no luck. We just couldn't get something would go wrong or something happened. So finally, we got the right truck, I think, the Tisco truck, and it's showing. We got second at San Felipe. We won the 500, so we're in good points. Obviously a good battle with the Herps, and we're looking for the rest of the year, and we're just going to do our best, put our heads down, fix the problems we had at the last race, and even try to come out even better for the 400.
Yeah, I got you. And Dan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Justin nailed it on the head. Again, it's a group effort. Obviously, couldn't do it without Justin's parents and the wives, and we have the munchkins and kids that we have to fumble through all this too. So it's a battle, like I said, just to get to races with everyone. But nobody could do it without the support and sponsors and Ryan as well. So we'll have to get Ryan in Jeremy's car when there's eventually room.
Yeah, when I can fit in there.
Yeah.
Gonna have to lose about a foot.
I'd personally like to just too small. I'd personally just like to thank Troy for not choking me out at qualifying because he was so frustrated with the live stream. So thank you very much, Troy.
Troy, he's getting a little old on me. He's been out of work since his back's been all messed up. I guess I beat him up too much.
He was trying to take some of that effort out on me.
I think because he rewired it like 7 times now, so I think finally that it was working. He was okay, but now his back hurts and he's been out of work for like 4 days. So
all right,
he's old and grumpy.
I'll give him some tacos one of these days. Thanks, boys. Hey, we really appreciate it. And
thank you,
congratulations to the entire team. Go Green Army.
All right.
Go Green Army. Dan still
later, guys.
Still sucks.
Love you too, Ryan.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if we can get Christopher Polvoorde on here.
Is he live streaming from his plane? We in the
Probably.
Cessna right now?
Hey, we going testing with him in a little while. You want to go?
Let's go. I should have some new wheels for him here real soon.
Some cool ones?
Some cool, shiny ones.
Nice. Dude.
Shiny
go
boys.
Let's see if Christopher wants to jump on. Sometimes he gets busy, so we'll see if he jumps on. If not, then we will go to our next guys. Our next guy.
Dude is a busy kid. For being a young kid, he is doing everything.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on. So
when he manages his whole team, he's the manager.
It says he's on here, so we'll try to.
Where's he at? It says it's not letting me join.
Oh, update your Instagram app. Go to your app store and update it. Yeah,
typical IT response.
Yeah. Reboot your computer, Christopher.
Unplug it and plug it back in.
What was going on with you on race day, Ryan?
I just cruised around. Me, my dad, Gunner, and my mom. I think we went 3 different spots. Valley Tea Taco Stand. I mean, that's a must.
You went the other way.
Yeah, we tried to go over the crossover road. You found a semi stuck in the road.
Wait, what?
You didn't hear about that?
No.
There was a full-blown semi-truck in the middle of the crossover road. Still
Really?
running, hanging off the side of the cliff. I'll send you the
Where
pictures.
at?
Right between where the course goes through the meadow and where it meets back up with the crossover.
That's where we were.
Like, dead nuts in the middle, blocking the
Really?
whole road.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah,
It
we were
was
on the other
insane.
side, heading back north on the end of the crossover road.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you couldn't make it across. You couldn't even get by this thing.
How did they reroute everybody? Was that where
well, by the time I got there, I called weatherman, and I guess I was the first one that told him what was going on. But no chase truck traffic could get through.
Dude, that's wild.
And I don't even know how the truck made it this far.
Well, that's exactly what you were talking about, though. Mexico just throws shit right at you.
Yeah. You could think you'd have it all planned out, and then all of a sudden there's a semi-truck middle of the crossover road.
Is Gunner at home?
Yeah, he's outside doing hot laps on his Stasic right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. He don't got time for Christopher Polvoorde then.
Oh, he's a big Polvoorde fan, though. You should have seen him in the pits.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not letting him in? What the heck, man?
Why do you have your shirt off?
Let me see if I invite you, Chris. Maybe you just try to accept that. I'm not sure. Did you update your app on the App Store? Tech support.
Tech support.
All right. So let me download these. We're doing a Starlink show inside the van. I don't know if you knew that.
I was gonna say, is that a new setup?
No, we in a van.
Yeah. Oh, he's in the van. Are you down by a river?
Yeah. Well, actually, I was by Alberto's taco shop, but same thing.
Are they just bringing you tacos the whole time?
No. Like I was telling Regina earlier, I was like, yeah, I just ordered a burrito. I had a blowout. The burrito totally it was a bean and cheese, extra cheese, and I got. Okay, he's gonna reset his phone. All right, thank you very much, Christopher. And I ate chili Cerritos, and I was like, fuck, and I didn't have anything left to drink, and I had to start the show. So,
it would have been good if we started and you're just sweating, red face.
About 10 minutes into the Toby Price interview, my mouth finally started cooling off, but hey, we prevailed.
Good thing Toby can talk.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, like, I was really, really surprised. Like, I don't want to say surprised, but I was really, I don't even know how to say it. Like, it's really getting to be like moto. Like, qualifying is fucking important.
Yeah, and he obviously has been qualifying phenomenally. I think he's like 4 for 4 on poles. But to get it all into one where he won it and qualified first, I think that's huge.
Is that sustainable? Like, can you? Well, actually, this is a better question. Can a trophy truck driver win all 4 races in 1 year?
I mean, it's been done, but I don't think they've had the competition like they do. Because you can go all the way to 10th place now and pick a guy that could possibly win this.
It's wild, dude.
Yeah.
I
don't remember a time of trophy truck racing that had a field so deep. It's like watching the 450 class at Supercross. It's like you could pull any one of those guys out, and Roxon will win one day, Webb's the next day. So it's the same thing with trophy trucks now. It's
freaking crazy, man.
Yep.
Like, I love it because it puts so much more. I don't know.
Well, it puts a bigger spotlight on us. When stuff like this happening, there's sick content coming out. You're putting it out there, so now everyone can see how hard these guys are going.
Yeah, I do think that's cool. We can ride along with those guys. Hopefully Christopher can get in.
Speaking of ride along, how was the boat thing?
Oh, it was wild, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it's crazy to see, like, I don't know, the level of effort that those guys put in, but they were hauling the mail. Some of those, let's see what Brian Moore says. Oh, I don't know if Brian Moore is going to be able to join us now either, because he said he's on it. Oh, he's big. He's doing a Raiders film shoot.
No time for us.
Yeah, he said the director is killing him, so he's probably not going to be able to join. So hopefully Christopher can figure out his iPhone.
IT tech support.
But that boat stuff was super cool, dude. Super cool.
Christopher said let Ben Del Taco in.
Oh, yeah.
That's his media guy. Only if he brings us some Del Taco.
I don't even see Ben. Ben's got to follow us first, dude. Why you got to make my tech support job so much more difficult? Because he's not coming up on my list. Or maybe Ben could just ask to join because I don't see him on here.
They must be in the Cessna right now. Live stream.
Who knows? Nope, there's no Ben Del Taco, dude.
Big media guys over here.
Dude, just update your phone, son.
He said he has. Unplug it and plug it back in.
That's funny. And I was going to say, should we get Gunner in here to talk to his favorite driver?
Oh, he'll come
there he is.
In here full kit.
Ben Del Taco, all right.
You found him?
He just joined. Come on, man.
Come on.
Still not popping up. Dude, this is getting annoying.
Maybe Instagram is messing with us.
Oh, you got a bunch of Baja memorabilia in the background right there. I didn't even see
that. Oh, yeah, check that out. See that? All my cool stuff.
Grizzle just joined. Which is any of those ones the one that we got down? Oh, yeah, the one on the right.
Yeah.
Well,
I only keep the ones up that I earned. Unlike Gunner, who gets finisher medals for just going across the podium.
I know, that is kind of weird. I feel
Gunner hangs his finisher medals in his room, and he tells people that's his race trophies.
Nah.
Yeah. But now he expects T Stone to give him one every time.
All right, so... Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if... I invited Ben Del Taco, so let's see if they can get their system to work.
They're probably in Utah. Maybe it's the Utah state blocking us.
Internet?
Yeah.
No, you can't go live in Utah.
Mormons are keeping us out of Utah.
All right, so I invited him, but I don't know if it's coming through. I invited Ben. I wonder if that is actually like a proxy or something that they
they don't want us hooligans out there.
Oh, they logged off now. I don't even know what to do, man.
Who was after Christopher?
Proctor.
We can always talk to Proctor.
So Ethan and no, Brian Moore. I wonder if we should just. Polvoorde joined. Ben Del Taco was unable to join, so he needs to update his app too. I wonder if Christopher's sister can get him to get on here. I just don't get it, dude.
Why they
do it?
I'm surprised mine worked.
Media guys in the industry.
The two dudes pumping out the most content, and they can't get logged on to Instagram.
I know. You would think it would be us failing at this.
Hey, they upload a YouTube video mid Baja pre-run.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, these dudes are down there doing Baja content on like within 8 hours of doing it.
Yeah, like Mr. Zachary says, Baja update. Well, they're like literally doing it.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just wait.
Yeah, we know we're live. Emily's yelling at us.
Why?
She says I'm live.
Why is she
thinks we're just chatting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I am in a van.
Yeah. Down by the river.
It was a pretty gnarly Baja though. Like, and honestly, Baja 500 is my favorite race of the year.
Yeah, because you get the speed, the length. You know, the 250's rad, but I feel like this year it went so fast. Where the 500, it's like double that, and you're getting the good racing action.
When you go like to this last one, did it make you want to race again or no?
Oh, 1,000%.
Really?
I mean, that's why I still go down there, is because I just need to be involved. If I was sitting at home, I would be so sad. What'd you say?
If you could pick any class to race, what would you pick?
I would really want to ride a bike down there again.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that's balls of steel.
I feel like, I've only done it once on a bike, and that was the first time I ever raced. Since then, I've been in a car.
That's so gnarly. All right, let me ask Christopher to come on again, see if he can figure it out. I don't know, man. Like, I think, like, the new Polaris, I think I'd probably pick that. And then if I did good at that, I'd love to race a 6100 truck.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like the 6100s are not like, I feel
Not
like
gonna
I
go
would
kill
break
yourself.
Yeah, I feel like I would break a trophy truck, right? Like my moto background, like I couldn't.
You don't know where your limit is.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like a 6100 truck, like it'd be stable, it'd be fun, like the whole deal.
Well, and you gotta drive it differently. You gotta momentum like a UTV. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
I always like riding 125s too.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do with Christopher. He says he can't log on, so not really sure. I don't know what happened with Ben Del Taco's Instagram. He tried three different. Maybe it's with your account. Oh, it says Christopher Polvoorde is unable to join, and you updated your phone too, Christopher. That's crazy. But you can comment in. There was like a new Instagram app that got released like a couple days ago. So
oh, really?
I don't know if that helps or not. Yeah. This is what happened last time when we couldn't get people logged on.
They weren't updated.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know if mine are updated.
Maybe something's wrong with it. Yours is probably not. You probably left it 6 months ago and haven't updated it.
And it's working.
And he said he deleted his app and downloaded it.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to even do it then, Christopher. Wait, hold on. I got an idea. Hey Siri, FaceTime call Christopher Polvoorde.
Which one? Starting a FaceTime call to Christopher Polvoorde.
All right, let's see if we can get him on here.
Polvoorde?
There he is.
There he is.
Do you see him?
We're live.
Yeah, we're good to go, dude. What are you doing?
I'm out. I was getting dinner for my crew chief Jimmy's birthday, so I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna log out for 15 minutes." And now, I don't know what. None of our phone. I got everyone's phone at the table. It says failed request. So
that's hilarious.
It must be a Utah thing. It's probably
that's what we were saying. They blocked us.
Yeah, that's what Ryan was saying. He's like, yeah, they probably just blocked him out of Utah.
Yeah, they don't. We're pretty limited on what we can do around here.
And Ben's phone didn't work either. That's hilarious. Hey, so we don't have to take too much of your time. I'm just gonna hold you in front of the iPad for a little bit.
This is riveting. This is high tech stuff we're doing here.
Can you see Ryan at least?
Yeah. I pulled it up on another stream, so I got it too. I got it going on.
You got 6,000 phones going on. That's hilarious, dude. Oh man. Yeah. Hey, so give us a little bit of a breakdown on how your race went. Came home third, right?
Yeah, came home third. I was really happy with it, but obviously I like to win, so there's a few things. But yeah, overall it was pretty smooth. Coming into it, I knew we had a good run at it, and I knew Toby was going to be really fast out front. So my goal was hey, let's just pace these boys all day. And I got a flat right before the summit, and ended up bending my sector shaft, so had to go down the summit with a crooked steering wheel, which doesn't sound bad, but our paddle shifters move with the steering wheel, so it's a little scary.
Yeah.
Just to line things up when you're the trucks, you're literally rubbing, you're rubbing on the left side, and then there's a 500-foot cliff on your right side, so that's never fun. So yeah, doing that with a crooked steering wheel. Got down there, passed Alan and Pudia, he had a flat, and then kind of was just pacing Toby. He had a nice little lead, but I was like, hey, let's just pace him. Unfortunately, around coming into Borrego area, race about 230, 240, I started having some cooling issues.
Was it hot over there? It was. I didn't make it that far.
Yeah, it had to have been at least 110, I think. Jesus. It was toasty. It felt hot. It felt hot. So we kind of assumed we're just going up up a sand wash. It's going to come down as soon as we get out of the sand wash. So we kind of just maintained. And then, unfortunately, it just started climbing out of control to the point where it was scary. So we had to back her down. and it kept climbing and climbing and climbing. So then I had to really back her down. And at that point, Alan got back by me. Then Tavo got by me. And yeah, so that was kind of a bummer. Pulled into a pit. They kind of were able to troubleshoot some things, get that resolved. And then from there on, I was like, hey, let's just pace. We're not going to win this thing. You know, we had a lot of downtime. Let's just cruise. So kind of just cruised. And yeah, by the end, you know, all of a sudden Luke was out. Then Alan was having issues. And then we kind of just caught Tavo's dust. We made up like 6 minutes or something on Tavo and Toby. And then at that point, it was like, let's just cruise home. But yeah, it was good. It was good. It was exciting. I mean, first, like, you know, in my own truck, podium, Baja 500 with issues. I'm pretty pumped. It was.
Did you feel like Toby was getting it?
Oh yeah, in the beginning, dude, Toby was getting down. He probably, for Toby, it was probably just cruising, but the man was getting down. Like you're like, every time the first, you know, little bit, you get splits and everyone's kind of there, and then all of a sudden, like, I get splits at like mile 75 and we're leading. Like, okay, perfect. Then get splits at like mile 90, and like Toby has like 2 minutes on us. I'm like, holy cow, this guy was putting it down. So yeah, Toby charged definitely through the desert. He was smart. He got ahead of us all there, and I mean, I think he knew, like, if he could get out there, it was going to be tough for all of us to catch him.
Dude, that's kind of like that's like what is happening in Supercross and motocross nowadays. Like, you just go balls to the wall for the first 5 minutes, get that gap, and then you just maintain.
Yeah, the Deegan approach, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's definitely, and I think it's so tough now. Like, the pace is so fast that, you know, if you make it through that first 5 minutes, essentially, we're all pushing to a point where it's like, oh, are we going to crash the truck? Or, like, you know, so it's interesting. It blows my mind, like, honestly, how fast the pace is. Jumping up to trophy truck, like, I assumed, you know, I thought us spec guys ran pretty hard, but, you know, trophy truck, we run really hard.
Does it ever scare you?
It doesn't scare me. I think I'm still at that young, dumb age, but it's definitely, there's points where you're like, you're going so fast that you're like,
scare Mike in the passenger seat?
Oh, yeah.
That's the real question.
You're doing 130 on a road that you're rubbing trees on both sides, and you're like, why am I doing this?
That's wild.
That's what, I mean, the trophy truck, it just blows my mind. All of a sudden, every time you look down, you're doing 100. And so it's kind of just trippy in the beginning. All of a sudden, it becomes normal, but then you look down, you're like, doing 100 through a narrow road right now. It's pretty wild.
Hey, Ryan, did you hear one of Christopher's 18 phones just started ringing?
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised they're not all up to his ears right now. Jerry Maguire over here.
Hey, was there any close calls, or were you guys keeping it pretty mellow?
We kept it pretty mellow. We had a couple of really close calls with some motorcycles and quads.
Dude.
That, I mean, we gave them a lot of warning, and they, like, didn't want to pull over, and we'd have to, like, run up on them, and I had one guy stop in front of me. Which
the worst is when they look back right at you, like a deer in the headlights, like, oh, shit.
Yeah. He looked back like 5 times, and then he decided to stop. And my 7,000-pound truck doesn't stop quite like his motorcycle.
Yeah. Hey, is that Chip in the background?
Yeah, now everyone's in the car.
Oh, I was going to say. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Jimmy's birthday, my crew chief, so we had to go get it, Taco Tuesday.
Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Happy birthday.
He doesn't drive with me. He doesn't trust me. But, yeah, then we had a motorcycle fall in front of us as we came around the corner, which we didn't see him. That was really scary. We missed the guy by inches. Besides that, I mean, most of the day we just kind of maintained. We didn't really take any big chances. I think that's the benefit with all-wheel drive is you can just, like, cruise and maintain, and you're still going extremely fast, where, like, in 6100, I felt like I had
you had to hang it out
for race. Yeah. So it's a different mentality. You definitely have to be a little more calculated in trophy truck, where in like the spec truck, I think it was just kind of balls to the wall, and whoever doesn't crash wins.
Well, yeah, but like I still feel like there's a lot of that in trophy truck though too. I mean,
well, yeah. I think he's just comfortable in the truck now to where he can manage it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's still really fast. It blows my. You're just like you're charging and pushing these trucks to the point where you're like, I don't know if this is going to last another 400 miles. But the trucks are starting to show that they can. I mean, I think this Baja 1000 was kind of like the testimony. We did 1,200 miles, 1,300 miles, and all the top all-wheel drive guys finished.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a
you're talking about the truck, but I like the human aspect of it, right? Like, how gnarly is that on your brain to be able to stay focused at that pace for that long? Because I feel like your brain gets super tired if you have that much going through your head.
Oh, it's gnarly and it's intense. And I personally can tell you, I had a huge concussion a little over a month and a half ago. So coming into this, I was extremely nervous. And like my brain was smoked by the end of it mentally. There's no turning it off because you're going so fast. Anytime you try to take a break, something gets you. And yeah, like Mike Kim he'll just be like, hey, focus, you need to focus. Like, and all of a sudden, I mean, you take a half a second just to try to drink a water, and all of a sudden you're in the bushes because you're going so fast. And if you miss the braking points in the all-wheel drive, it doesn't stop.
Well, dude, that happens to people going 55 miles an hour on a normal road.
Right.
And you guys are going double that pace and on a really skinny dirt road in the desert. It's wild to think about.
Yeah, and the trucks are so heavy. You just don't realize it. That's one of the biggest things I have to remind myself. Pretty much every mile is, hey, this thing does not want to stop. It's, over 7,000 pounds. It's a lot of mass moving, velocity. I don't know what you call it. But
do you ever have to check up and just kind of feel the truck and make sure it's doing good? Every time I think about that, even when we were doing UTV, is way slower pace, but I would touch the brakes just to make sure they were there, way before I did the turn.
Oh yeah, definitely towards the end. Even I think, you start getting a little brake fade, and all of a sudden you come into one corner and you lose your trust. So I find myself even on a straightaway doing 100, just making sure, okay, those brakes are still there. Just to make sure when I come into that next corner, it's going to stop.
When you cross the finish line, were you just wow, okay, I accomplished a goal? Because I know that concussion bothered you a little bit, and you were making sure that you were focused on your health the weeks leading up to it. When you crossed the finish line, were you oh, sweet, I did it? Because that to me is a milestone.
Yeah, no, it was huge. I was I was really worried. I know my mother was very worried. A lot of people were whether I was going to be able to survive the whole time. So yeah, it was a huge kind of check on the list. Shout out to all the doctors now for, now you hear concussions and everyone thinks slow down, but I went to a specialist and he was no, just keep charging, and he's all we do with athletes like you. So, yeah, modern technology allowing us to kind of push ourselves. But yeah, it was, when I got done with that race, it was one of the biggest weights off my shoulders in a long time, because the 500 is a lot of prep, and then it's just a strain. I mean, it was 9.5 hours, 10 hours. I mean,
yeah,
my body was done. I couldn't even, I think there's a video of me trying to get out of the truck. I barely could stand up. So.
Yeah, but that's good that you pushed through it, right? Because otherwise, if you hadn't have done that, you wouldn't have feel the accomplishment that you did.
Yeah, and all that effort.
Yeah, that's what it felt. It felt good. It felt even I felt very good, leaving that race. It was just one of those, accomplishments of we pushed through it, and I think the team really pushed through we had a lot of ups and downs, and we're learning a ton every race. This all-wheel drive is way different, so
yeah.
I think everyone was super happy, and obviously, the timing, my dad was so involved with the timing in the live stream. That was a check in the box. The truck finishing, that was a check in the box for the crew chiefs. The logistics, there's so much behind the scenes that we were all kind of stressed out on our own levels.
Yeah, but you guys got a lot done. So there's two things I want to ask because we're gonna get Brian Moore hopefully on the phone here in just a second. But first, I want you to thank all the people that supported you, and then I'd like to know what you're gonna do next, like because there's a lot of planning that's gonna go into your next event.
Yeah, no, I mean, big shout out to, the big one, even for the whole score event, which I don't know if a lot of people knew, is the fact that Optima Batteries did all of the timing and everything. So huge shout out to them. They support me huge, but they're supporting the sport, which is what we need to go to the next level. And then, Ford Performance, Toyo Tires, Vision Wheels, K&N, VP Racing, Fuels, Decked, USA, Borla Exhaust, the list goes on and on. Feel it. There's so many different variables that I still blows my mind that we're out racing trophy trucks. But next for us, we're already planning. The Baja 400. Got a lot of that stuff. Redoing a bunch of stuff on my pre-runner. Trying to get our live stream mastered on the helicopter and the race car. And then just trying to get our pits and everything faster. We're trying to do a lot of training and stuff. That's kind of what's next on our list. We're up here in Utah, so we're moving into our new shop kind of as we speak right now. So we haven't even touched the race truck, which I know would freak out most people because we've just been so focused on the race shop since we decided to move last year. So this will be our first official prep in a real race shop in Utah.
Dude, it's pretty crazy to think about all those changes and moving parts, man. You guys are doing a good job. That's like juggling literally a business, like with a bunch of different divisions in it, right? Like, so you guys are doing a good job. And I appreciate the fact that you guys are trying to push the sport forward. Every little thing helps. So kudos to you guys. Keep it going.
No. Thank you guys. And thanks, George, for having us. Thanks for your Starstream stuff. I think that's you're helping people push themselves at push the sport with streaming, which I think a lot of people didn't think was achievable. And then you made a product that obviously proved everyone wrong.
I appreciate it, man. Dude, we're big boat guys now, too. You just got back from West Palm Beach. It's a great boat ride.
I know. I kept seeing your pictures. I was a little jealous flying around in cool.
For George to be hanging out with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I almost landed at his place. Dude, he has, not to, change the subject, but Donald Trump has these big towers with gunmen in them so you can't fuck with his house.
George is going to be eating tacos with Trump.
Dude, it's crazy. All right, hey, thanks, Christopher, and happy birthday, Jimmy.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having
Later, guys.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Instagram for screwing Chris over.
Thanks, Ben Del Taco, for the support.
Hey, guys.
Later. Yeah. That's hilarious, man. What a good kid.
Super game. And like we said earlier, it's him doing it. He's got Jimmy, his dad, helping, but he's doing a lot of the behind the scenes, putting the pieces together, making it happen.
Well, we always talk about how much kids learn and how much it benefits just going through the whole process. And he's a prime example of it, right? He's been racing his whole life, but he's leading the new generation.
Well, and it definitely shows just by what he's doing with YouTube and the live streams and all that stuff. Like, they're outside of Menzies and McMillan's. Like, I think Christopher's right up there with him on that side
exactly.
of it.
Well, I just invited Ethan Ebert and Jeff Proctor on, so hopefully they can get. Dude, I wonder if maybe it's our Instagram or my Instagram on the
Mine's been doing good. I feel like my stuff's always slacking.
I don't know. It's doing good, but Ethan and Jeff, why don't you guys jump on? I invited both of you guys, so feel free to jump in and accept the invitation. Hopefully it works good. If not, then update your Instagram app, or I'm going to have to FaceTime you guys.
Or call Ben Del Taco.
Oh, so, yeah, I don't think Brian Moore is going to be able to come. He's way too busy doing football stuff.
Woo! Big football guy.
Big Raiders guy. So what happens. Raiders move to Las Vegas. Brian Moore takes over their media.
It was bound to happen.
All right. I don't even think Ethan and Jeff are not even online anymore. So you have to have the green dot next to your name to know that you're online.
Yeah.
All right.
My mom just
So
asked
maybe they're not.
where I want to go for Father's Day, and I said Valley Tea Taco Stand.
Can you pull it off?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Dude, that would be so fun. I bet you Jim would like it.
He's probably already there.
Well, yeah, Ethan said it won't work. I wonder if it's my Instagram that's jacked up either. You want me to log out and log back in?
Sent request, but it's frozen.
Yeah, that's what mine did too. Like, I literally just sent one from my personal Instagram and it never popped up on the Dirt Live. So
that's weird.
I'm gonna close the live and then start it again. Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're back. Technical difficulties. Hopefully, since we reset Instagram, it'll be better now. See how it works. See if Ryan can join us too. I don't know what the heck, man. Well, here's Ryan's. See if he can hop on now. Accept Ryan. Accept Ethan. What's up, Albert? There you go.
You got me?
Maybe it was my Instagram that's messed up.
Oh,
dude.
God.
Let's see if
unplug it and plug it back in.
Pretty much.
I don't know, man. And maybe we put all this pressure on Christopher, but maybe it was the Dirt Life's Instagram that was jacked up.
We'll blame Christopher.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. All right, now we'll get Jeff to come on too. Are you back in Tucson, Ethan?
Yeah, dude, I just got off iRacing, making people mad on NASCAR, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeff Rock,
dude, they get all fired up.
Do you play any iRacing?
Who? Proctor?
No,
he's got
no,
a sim at the shop.
I've got a sim at my shop, but I haven't been on the sim in years.
So what was the deal with iRacing, Ethan?
Dude, I just like to make people mad on NASCAR. You just go with them when you're like practicing. You just spin them out. You like get a hot lap and you spin them out when you're done with them, dude.
People take that stuff seriously, dude.
Yeah, I've gotten like serious threats.
Hey, so you guys want to hear a little? You guys want to hear a little secret that you'll like? So Jeff, you're a big fan of the KOH and all the stuff that happens out there. Hopefully in the next couple of years, you'll be able to race against Lauren Healy and all those big guys sitting at home in your sim while they actually race.
Really? Oh, I did hear something about this.
What, on iRacing?
Cool. Yeah.
You're going to actually be able to race in a sim against
while
them.
they're
so like
racing.
Like, let's just say you have a position here, and this is Lauren Healy sitting at the starting line. This spot will be empty, but it'll be a dude on a computer actually racing against him.
Wow. Who's producing this, George?
Probably George.
We've had some meetings. I can't let the cat out of the bag.
It's George.
It's definitely not me. I don't have the funds to be able to do that, so don't look at me.
Well, I mean, you were just with Trump, so you never know.
That's true.
Huge Trump.
Yeah, he's my president.
Yeah. Hey, so let's talk about something that's not so friendly to Trump. Let's talk about Baja in Mexico. What's going on with you guys, man? You guys had a really good race.
Yeah, no, dude, it was an awesome race down there. I mean, it's obviously you guys know half the race is done in the shop, so it was a lot of prep, a lot of great prep by Evan Weller, and then obviously by Proctor too, just by rounding up the team and all the volunteers that help us. So yeah, it was a really good race overall.
So we saw you guys come across the finish line in what position was it, Jeff?
7th place in trophy truck.
So I thought, like, when I saw you guys cross the finish line, like, to be completely honest, I go, holy shit, Ethan got here way earlier than I thought.
Yeah.
Like, this is bad.
Don't underestimate Ethan.
Yeah.
No, that was kind of my point where I was going with this, was like, this program is gaining so much momentum because of all the work that you guys are putting in.
And that wasn't an easy course by any means. Like, you guys put in the work for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, even just testing and tuning with Fox alone with their live valve, I mean, it's a game changer out there because you can be going through rocks and change the setting and it does way better than any other truck. So instead of setting your truck up once, you can set it up multiple times and it just gives you that much more of an advantage.
Has that been a lot of work on the backside, Jeff?
You know, it has. I think I think there's kind of some misnomers out there that you develop a new race truck and it's ready to go right out of the box. And it usually takes, I think it takes about a season to kind of work through kind of the new truck bugs and get the truck sorted the way that we want. And I think Ethan can back me up on this, that we've been putting in the work with Fox on the shocks and with the engine tuning and paddle shifting calibration with our gearbox. And the truck is just starting to come alive now. But I will tell you, and Ethan can back me on this again, there's still some untapped potential there. So we've got some other tricks up our sleeve for Vegas to Reno that we're changing that we didn't have at the 500. So I think the truck will continue to get better, and Ethan's continuing to get faster.
Yeah, it's the whole growth, right? Like like I said, like it's visible, like literally visible on course, like the way that you guys are doing it. So it's cool to see. What were some of the things that you guys had to achieve or like fight through during the race? Because nothing ever goes smooth in Baja.
Honestly, we didn't really have any like mechanical problems at all. The Honda motor did great. We had no overheating, nothing like that. It was more of just getting through dust, really, because we started so far back. I think we started like 27th off the line. And so starting that far back, it was like, dude, and you guys know the
because you guys
first
didn't
30 miles.
qualify, right?
We weren't able to. We didn't race San Felipe, so they didn't let us. But yeah, we just working through that dust. Yeah.
Because it's a new rule, right, Jeff? If you don't race.
Yeah, I got a call from Score, I want to say like a month before the 500, and they said, hey, we know you guys signed up to qualify, but you're unable to. You have to take a rear start because you didn't race the first race of the series. So if we don't race the 400, we're going to have to take a rear start for the 1,000 as well. So a little bit of an issue, but
I guess it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
We had kind of the same thing happen with the Herbst guys. The 19 truck, unfortunately, wasn't able to, get enough work done to it to be able to race the entire race. So we just started off, took our starting position, and then we'll be able to qualify for the 400.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that happens, though. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's an okay rule.
I mean, I know why they want to do it. They want us to race the whole Score series. But, our contract was made 3 years ago with the races that we're going to race. So it's really hard for us to kind of pivot on a new rule 1 month before or a couple months before the series starts. So, we're just going to have to roll with the punches. And Ethan did a fantastic job working a lot of
honestly,
back markers.
It definitely didn't hinder you that much. Let's just say that.
How was it pretty exciting going through? Was it pretty stressful going through? Like, what did you do? Like, because that's a huge weight.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a lot, that's for sure. But it's safe to say that front clip is no longer white. It's mixed with some green and a lot of brown and all that stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just bushwhacking everywhere if you can't see. And it's just, and the way with Baja works is it's all basically silt down there. So it just sits.
Yeah.
And makes getting through that dust even harder. But no, I mean, it's just, Gatlin is a great co-driver. I mean, we just sat there and said, okay, look, we're not going to win it through the dust. So why try to set down a qualifying lap in the dust, but then back off when we're not in dust. So we try to save ourselves for the clean air and then get through the clean air and then just start chasing down the other truck.
Well,
tell them about the close call with the quad. Everybody saw that on
dude. That's all right. I was gonna bring that up next. That was insane.
Yeah, no, that was partially my
nervous.
Bad. Yeah, no, it was partially my bad. So Gallon and I were ripping down mile like 175, almost 180. And we were just about to pit, and we were on this long sand straightaway. So we were doing like 110, something like that. And I saw this bike, and we were like, okay, dude, did you sell him? And he was like, no, I mean, he's going to see us because of the helicopter. And so it looked like he got up outside of the rut, but he quickly cut back on because he was probably just dodging a rock, and he didn't know where we were. So when he caught back on, you can see in the heli footage that turn 2 got, I jumped out of the 2 track, or the single track right away, and was totally buzzed them on accident, but I totally thought that he got them, saw that we were behind him. And so I buzzed the crap out of him on accident. I felt really bad, but it was like, dude, he looked like he was getting out of the way because I thought he saw us, but he obviously didn't. So
it's wild things that happen.
Yeah, fun fact on our media helicopter, I got a message from Jose G after the race, and our media helicopter got banned from SCORE for an entire season for flying too low off the deck.
Oh, yeah.
And
over the lake
Jose
bed.
G saw the footage of him following our truck,
Yep.
and from some fans that posted it.
Did you
So he
see that, George?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's from like a guy under an easy up, and
he buzzed an easy up.
Dude, it like the landing gear almost hit the easy up. He was so low.
It was sick.
Hey, but he
dude,
got
it was sick.
shot.
He got the shot. Yeah,
dude, that's crazy. You got to be careful with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, and some of those helicopters, well, not the Robinsons, but some of those helicopters put some serious downwind on those things.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Shit, there was this question I was just going to ask, but I forgot what it was. Hey, first things first, like, that sucked that guy, like, came back on the track or whatever, but, dude, you had to probably react so quick.
Yeah, no, I mean, and the with our steering pump and all that stuff, it was perfect just because you basically don't even feel the 40s that are there. So we were able to just get right out of the way. But I mean, it's all, and honestly, sim racing actually kind of helps that just because you're so focused on it.
Time.
And you're, just with reaction time. I do a lot of road racing, so that's why, like, get out of the way if this guy's spun out or something. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just really, you gotta be on your game. Like you guys said with Christopher.
Those wall exercises like the F1 guys?
Yeah. I actually do have the lights. Yeah, dude. It's like the Formula One lights. They're pretty dope.
Ethan's juggling balls before the starting line.
We like film a video in Mexico at a stoplight, and it's Ethan, not a regular guy.
Yeah. Dude, on a unicycle.
Whatever he's doing, it's working.
Keep it going.
Yeah, dude, totally. So there was a little bit of a sketchy moment there, but it seemed like for the most part you were able to keep your wits about you and keep up a good pace. Coming home, like, passing 20 trucks.
Yeah. No, it was definitely gnarly, but just like I said, Gatlin and I, we just clicked for some reason. Gatlin and I clicked really good. So we're just able to log miles off. Like, all right, did you hear that? Yeah, it's a little noise, but it's probably just fiberglass, this and this and this. And like, it really wasn't any scary noises, any vibrations, just kind of kept your head down and kept cruising, really.
Jeff, what about on the back side of things? Were you able to manage the stuff from the way that they were driving and communicate with them? Or were you, because you have a UTV as well, so focusing on both vehicles?
Yeah, it's tough for me to focus on both teams because there's such a big gap between Trophy Truck and an NA Pro UTV NA. So I just focus on the truck on race day, and I've got a separate team that focuses on the Talon. And, I was in constant communication with Gatlin all day, whether it's split times. We use a SAT communication system.
Hey, we just need to make sure that Ethan's mom gets a Starlink for the next race, so she's not out there in Valley T bumming Starlink off everyone.
Hey, so I thought Ethan's dad had a Starlink in the truck, but
no, it's funny. She comes walking up to me and she's like, "Hey, I need to link up with you because I don't know what's going on."
Yeah.
All right.
No, that taco is for sure getting a Starlink.
Yeah.
We'll get Mrs. Ebert dialed in for the next race. But
I felt so bad for her. She's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know if they're at the pit yet. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But from my perspective, there was constant communication with the truck all day, constant split times. It was really, really good to be able to talk with them the entire race. And Gatlin was phenomenal on the radio, and Ethan just drove a hell of a race. So just super stoked all around.
Yeah, I mean, just to think about how much action you guys must have had on course, Ethan. Like, you didn't just pass 20 trucks. You had a whole bunch of other stuff happening, dude. Like, that's just crazy to me to think about. We just asked Christopher Polvoorde, like, how his brain was feeling after. Like, do you get fatigued, like, in your head since you have to process so much information?
Yeah. No, I mean, because you have to be on your A game the whole time. You're in a trophy truck. I mean, you have Bryce Menzies hauling butt out there. So, like, trying to keep a pace with a all-wheel drive V8 truck and the V6 two-wheel drive truck, it takes a toll on you for sure. But it's also remembering that you're racing your race and not Bryce's race. So it's just a lot of different, like, okay, where should I push my brain and where should I think faster? And then where should I kind of, like, relax and, like, regain some consciousness here. So like on a lot of the straightaways,
but your truck also has a lot of benefits in other areas than the bigger trucks too.
Yeah, No, no. I mean, like it loves living on the limiter. Callan and I have tested that. It makes some
We hear
sick
it.
pops. But yeah, no. She likes to fly. She likes to track straight too. I mean, it's a great truck overall. I don't see why we can't put this number 9 HRC truck on the top of the box in a future race.
Yeah, look at that.
Jeff, just big old grin.
I do love that go get 'em attitude. Like that's just like that's why you guys are doing so good, Jeff, is because you guys have a fresh perspective on everything that's happening on course.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're pushing hard behind the scenes too. I think we don't do a good job at telling the story of how much work it really is behind the scenes to run up front and pull a volunteer crew together. But we are pushing hard, and we want this truck to continue to develop and get better. And that only gets Ethan more comfortable and pushes the pace even harder.
Yeah, totally.
I think something that we were all surprised with, Ethan just racing trophy truck for the first time and the team as well, is just the pace is incredible. We heard Polvoorde talking about the pace, and it's hard to fathom until you're in the hunt with those guys that everybody's pushing hard. Nobody's holding back on saving their equipment.
Dude, it's wild. I mean, Ryan and I were talking about it just in the UTV class. It's insane. Like, I could only imagine. Like, to be honest with you, that one time that I went and rode in the truck with you, Jeff, when we just took I don't know what we got. You took me 117 miles an hour in Barstow, and I was sitting there. I was sitting there thinking, like, first things first, Jeff is an amazing wheelman, but how the hell, Ryan, do they go that fast for that duration? 10 hours? Like, it is just blows me away.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane that Ethan has the stamina to keep it going.
Right. No.
Hey, have you been working out?
Oh yeah. No,
yes, he has. He looks bulked up.
Yeah. No, it's we're on a good regiment. Just waking up early, then going to work after. So yeah, eating clean too. But I mean, just staying at those speeds is like it basically turns your 110 miles an hour into a 60 miles an hour. So you basically have to flip your brain into thinking, oh, I'm just kind of cruising, like I can go harder. When you're really going 110 miles an hour. So it's just trying to flip your brain into processing things differently.
That's kind of what Toby was talking about too, huh, Ryan? Like, he's like, you're doing 100 and something, and you don't even realize it.
But man, talking to him at the beginning, like, he is so comfortable at that pace. I'm not saying Ethan and Christopher are lesser drivers, but it's like, they're like, we're hanging it out. Toby's like, yeah, I was hanging it out, but like comfortably. That's scary. That's scary that was comfortable to him.
But that's something that Ethan has to look forward to.
No, it's cool. It's cool to hear all these different perspectives.
Hey, so what was your favorite part about the entire race?
Oh, dude, it's after our pit 180 and leading up to it. Gosh, I forget the guy's name, but it was TSA
Dallas
Motorsports. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it was so sick. We just kept going back and forth. It was awesome. But it reminded me of short course because it was like, dude, like this guy's trying to take my line and like get back in there. And we almost doored each other like I think once or twice. So it was pretty dope. I was like, dude, this is finally gonna happen. I'm gonna finally use my door, and it never happened, which kind of sucked. But it was just a lot of like clean, fun battle, which was nice.
Yeah, that's cool that you got to battle, but I don't think that was probably very good on Jeff's stress level.
I didn't see it real time. I saw it post race, in the Instagram videos. So I thought it was pretty clean racing, to be honest.
Was that going up to Mike's Road, or where was that?
No, it was like in the white sand dunes, basically. So through all those whoops in the sand, and then you drop into the rock wash. That's basically where it happened.
It was between La Ventana and Borrego area.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff out there.
Dude, it was so sick. You're just wide open the whole time.
Was there just that many lines?
Yeah, I mean, he would dart off to the right, and Gatlin and I would stay on the main line because like, dude, this has got to be faster.
Right.
And he would come back and then
out.
it was so sick.
You're probably like, dude, this is wild.
Yeah.
No, I was floored the whole time. I was like, dude, I was pushing the pedal through the floor. I was like, dude, come on, we need a little more. But it was so much fun.
Dang, that's cool, man. Hey, so Jeff, I'm gonna ask Ethan the same question, but how do you feel Ethan is doing since getting a little bit more experience?
I'm really impressed with his progress. What he didn't tell you is that he's got Brutus, his trainer, that's been pushing him in the gym. outside the racetrack, and he's building up his endurance and his stamina, and just really pleased with his progress and adapting to the pace of Trophy Truck. I mean, let's look at the results, right? He comes in 4th at KOH. He goes podium at the Mint, and now he's with the big dogs in Mexico, and he puts up a 7th. So, I mean, from my perspective, I love the progression. He's only going to get faster. So I'm just really pleased with the progression and the direction that he's going.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And Ethan, like the same thing for you, but answering in a little bit different of a fashion, right? Like we have Eva Star Racing is going to come on the show in just a little bit. She's, a young girl, and she's, getting her feet wet in off-road racing. And obviously wants to work her way up the ranks and probably be in a position like you someday. Like, what kind of stuff do you tell people to follow in that same path that you're on?
I mean, really, it's just looking at every loss or every race that you have. So, like Adam and Cicerillo said, a winner is just a loser who kept trying. So it's just really going over what you lost and how to get better at it. So, I mean, it's just, I always look at it like, hey, we did good, but I could have done this. I made a mistake here. I should have done this differently. So I always think of how many different ways I can improve on, and I sleep on it. Sometimes you just don't go to sleep because you're like, dang, like, what if? And you can't really live in the what if world too much, but you have to think of, okay, if I do this next race, what's the outcome going to be? And you just have to kind of keep building. Your mindset's the strongest thing, I mean, physically you can do 200 or 500 miles, but mentally you can only do 150 because you're like, oh, I have to get out, or oh, I'm doing this. So it's really just mentally thinking, okay, look, I can beat all these guys in a truck that may not be as fast, but I can outdrive them. And then there you go. That's at the end of the day. You can't buy talent. You can buy the best truck, but you can't buy the talent to drive it. So It's just really thinking like you're the best of the best, and then just going from there.
Yeah, so there's a lot of mindset that goes into that, and there's obviously, like you mentioned it a couple times in statements that you just said, and accountability, and you're thinking about what you can be accountable for and be better at. I will tell you this, though, we got a really funny or a really interesting comment from our boy AJ Beck. He said,
I saw that.
Get fast, but nobody can wheel the ridge line like my man Jeff.
Well, I am kind of the OG ridgeline driver, so.
No, I'll let him have it. Let him have it.
No way, man. I'm giving it all to Ethan. I wasn't a GT driver. It's a whole different pace out there.
Yeah, but it's cool to see you guys work as a team, like the stuff that you guys are starting to accomplish. And you know what people say, Jeff, is like, they're like, wow, you've done really well. And you're like, no, dude, this is just the beginning. And I feel like it really is.
Yeah. I heard Toto Wolff say, the beauty of motorsports is that, it comes down to being defined by the stopwatch. The stopwatch tells the real truth. And until we put this ridge line on the top step of the podium, we're not going to stop working hard and pushing ourselves, the crew, the drivers, the navigators, the truck, everything until we get that first win for HRC.
Yeah, totally. So, has it been a pretty easy, working path with the team? Because everybody seems to always be doing their best on the team. Like, it seems like everybody is trying so hard.
Yeah, we're definitely trying hard, working hard. It's always a challenge to get volunteer crews, to mesh. But we've been fortunate to have some guys that have been chasing us around the desert for over a decade. And, I can't thank, those crew guys enough to, they leave their jobs, their families, and dedicate, a solid 5 days down in Mexico for our efforts. And it really goes. It's really because of those guys it allows us to come out with, a 43-second pit stop, a 50-second pit stop, when we're taking 70 gallons of fuel and 2 rear tires. So, our pit stops have come a long way too. And, it's a volunteer crew.
Yeah, totally. All right. So I'll give you guys both the opportunity. Ethan, you go first. Throw a shout out to whoever you want.
Oh, man, I just want to thank Jeff for just giving me this opportunity. I wouldn't be in a HRC trophy truck without Proctor. So, I mean, just big thanks to him. And then the whole team, like he said, all the volunteer crew. I mean, my dad's out there changing my tires. So it's actually really cool. He actually upgraded from mud scraper to a short course to a tire changer for Honda. So, yeah, he's climbing the ladder.
I'm glad to see he's moving up.
We promote from within.
Yeah.
He's climbing the ladder. But, just my whole family. I mean, my sister sister loves it. I mean, it's so awesome to see. She's like, oh, did you see this happen? I'm like, dude, no, I didn't even see that. But she's on top of everything. I mean, it's a whole team effort, and we have a great team behind us. So yeah, we're gonna go out swinging in Vegas Arena.
Big winner though is your mom for making me a michelada and everyone.
Oh yeah. No, dude, she gets it done. Don't worry. She pre-ran the wineries, so she was out there pre-running hard too.
She knows the good ones.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I just want to thank Evan Weller and Austin behind the scenes, and AJ Beck prepping the truck for us. And Max's Tires, they've got we're racing on DOT tires. Nobody talks about that, but
yeah, that's crazy.
We are a top 10 trophy truck finishing team on DOT tires, but we've got a project tire that we've been developing. It looks like we're going to have it before the 1,000 this year. So big shout out to Max's Tires for all the support and investing in this sport and coming out with a project tire. KMC wheels, Steel It coating. Steel It's been with us for 6 seasons now. And just everybody out there in HRC land, appreciate all the engine support and everything that they provide for us. And last but not least, really excited to be able to share this with everybody. This November will be our 10th year as a factory Honda program. So,
damn, that is impressive.
Yeah, we can't wait to kind of share that story come November for the 1,000.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Pretty cool. What timing for right before the 1,000 too.
Yeah.
And kudos to Michael McFadden too. He's starting to do a great job. He's learning the ropes of the HRC team and he's, coming into his own too. So
yeah, super stoked to have young Michael on the team, and he's a great partner to Ethan. And I've just got 2 stud 18-year-olds. So, couldn't be happy.
That's cool. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. We're gonna get Evastar on here and
see you guys.
Great job, boys.
Thank you, boss.
It's so cool, man. I always get so pumped up when everybody else is so pumped up, don't you, Rena?
I love it. This is why I keep doing what I do.
All right, so we're gonna round out the show. We got about 15 more minutes with Eva, and then I think her dad's gonna join us as well. So, what's up, Eva?
There she is. What's happening?
What's up?
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, I got a couple of those stickers from somebody at Contingency.
Dude, I love that graphics kit.
Yeah, it is so recognizable.
What do you think Gunnar would decorate his car like if he could have it?
The reason why I have the stickers is because Gunnar had to get them. From one of your guys were handing them out. My kid just had to have the UTV sticker. He put them all over my ice chest and everything.
See, Eva, you can be young and still have fans.
Oh, yeah. Just keep the good rap going and people will follow.
Hey, so, all right, first question. How long have you been racing, Eva?
Since 2018 when I was 10.
Hey, will you sit a little closer to your dad so we can see you a little bit more instead of just your left eyeball? There you go. Since 2010?
18.
2018.
No, 18,
okay,
and
got it.
I was 10.
Oh, you were 10. I got it. Okay, that's kind of crazy to think. But you've been racing for a little bit now. Are you really enjoying it or what?
Yeah, I like it.
What's your favorite part about racing?
I think the adrenaline.
It's addicting, huh?
Behind the wheel.
Does the adrenaline kick in at every race, or?
Yeah.
Pretty much. What about when you're battling? Does it get higher?
I think so.
I think it does.
How about Dad? Does Dad get the adrenaline rush too when he sees?
Or is it stress?
Oh yeah, man. That's like she has to tell me to be quiet.
Oh, are you spotter too?
Yeah. So I prepped the car and I'm her co-driver since she's got into the Razor 1000 only because
that's awesome.
Yeah, and she's just super calm. When she was racing 170s, it was a land rush start. So she was used to battling right off the bat, and most of her racing is been in Baja through the Corvitos kids when she was in a 170, and she just stayed in Baja. She wanted to stay in Baja.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, Sean, you have a little bit of racing underneath your belt as well. So, Are you able to pass some information and some knowledge and some advice down to Eva?
Yeah, I try my best. I mean, when we started racing in 85, 86, my dad, we were in a 516, and I went with my uncles and Roberto's Taco Shop Bug 516, and I got to race a Class 11 against some greats like Eric Solorzano. Shared the wheel with him a couple of times. Raced the 7100 truck, won a race over there, and did pretty good at Parker.
Yeah.
You know, in 2006. So. I think racing limited cars, I got the mindset of kind of just saving the car, and I try to instill that in her. Like, we can't win unless we finish the race.
Yeah.
And she
perfect for the UTV class.
yeah, and she's really good at saving the car. You know, they're a really good finishing ratio, and I was just a really smart driver.
Yeah, totally. And so, Eva, do you take a lot of that advice from your dad, or do you go, "Oh man, I'm going to do it my way"?
Well, I do take a lot of it in, and I do listen to him, but I do try to not at the same time, because I like to have my own driving style, and it does end up working out in the end.
What do you mean your own driving style? Do you drive a lot different than what your dad, I don't know, either suggests or how he drives? Because there's I don't know how to say it, but there's a big difference in the way that people perceive things, right? And women perceive things a lot different than men, and they do things different. But somebody that always told me that I always listen to or remember was that women have faster reflexes than men.
Yeah.
That's
probably true.
Do you think it's true, Eva?
I don't know.
Like, I take chances and I get aggro sometimes. You know, I'll use all the course. I'm used to Class 11, and she likes to stay on the course. She likes to follow the markers. She makes clean passes.
Methodical.
Like, I can get up in your bumper and I get really aggressive, you know, and she just takes her time and it works.
Have you guys had any fights in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've raced with my brother as a co-driver, and believe me, it's fun until it isn't.
I've been fired a few times.
No, what happened, Eva?
You can't put that one on air.
You're not allowed to talk about it on the Dirt Life show.
I'm going to turn your intercom off.
That's kind of cool, though, that you guys have that. Like, you guys can get past that, right? Because it takes a lot. It takes a strong family, and you really have to learn a lot about people around you, like how to control your temper, all of these different things, right? Like, it's I don't know. It's always one of those things that just makes you grow as a person, right, Eva?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a stressful situation in that car.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had any wrecks?
Wrecks? No.
We've
gotten stuck in somebody's bumper before, though.
Oh, really? What happened?
Well, my bumper was like curved, kinda, and it got stuck.
Oh, like hooked in there?
Yeah, like a hook.
Oh,
so what
yeah. She didn't want to move, and she pressed the issue. Then the guy that she passed came up on us real fast, so we got kind of sandwiched.
Oh.
So she went. Oh. Yeah. So she hit the car in front, and then the other car hit us from behind and like pushed the bumper into the other car. Yeah. That was at a record race, Ensenada San Felipe, in which she drove like almost the whole race.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or that one.
We were supposed to drive. Did you drive the entire race of the Baja 500?
No, I drove. I was gonna do half of it, but I got out at BFG Pit 1 because I started getting nauseous.
Ooh.
You didn't? Did you get back in the car?
I got back in at like the last 30 miles of the race.
And you felt better?
Yeah. After that.
Cool.
So I jumped in the car at BFG Pit 1. We put in a message, and we called our co-driver, Alan Yost, and he was ready. They jumped the gas. We took it over the summit, and then we got it to mile 260, in which our other driver was there ready to get in the car. And surprisingly, we were in second place.
Awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Not far behind the leader. So, everything was working out. Car was working rad. Did some good passes, and she was ready to go. You know, when the driver brought it around up to Ojos Negros, she wanted to do the finish.
Yeah, so how did it go for you all around, Eva? Like, where did you cross the finish at, and how did you feel for that last stint?
I liked it. It was different because usually I don't drive at night. I don't think I've raced in the night in this car. So it was different. And also we were in the mountains, so it was like foggy. I've never raced.
But you pushed through it, right?
Oh yeah, through Europan and all that stuff. It gets super foggy.
Yeah. It was, she took some good lines. There was a couple lines that I learned from Tim Morton, riding with old Tim Morton, motorcycle Baja bound adventures. And she took the line on the way out on the start, and then she took the same line in on the way back. I was like, I remembered all that. Yeah. So,
what was your favorite part about the whole race?
I really like the start and the finish.
Wow. That's usually everybody's least favorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't like any of the other stuff.
Well, I do, but I think I like that part the most.
The like technical, tighter stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of action. Cars by. We saw the Honda guys come by us, like both of them came by
at the same time.
At the same time, and we got the footage of the star stream, and
nice.
That was incredible. You know, I mean, that just really adds so much to our racing program, the marketing part of it, and also to get all that out to the fans out there and some of our team that can't make it to the races.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Well, it probably
see what's happening.
Helps mom get a little bit more comfortable with being able to watch.
Yeah.
To hear the bickering.
Yep.
Like, a good turns the volume down and just watch it.
I didn't know they were that angry.
What did you come across the finish line? What place?
We came across in third.
And were you proud of that, or do you want to do better next time?
I think that's good. I just wanted to finish.
Yeah. Well, just like who just said it? Joe was saying first you got to finish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially in Mexico.
She came across third. It was like 18 and a half hours. We had some parts failures that took us out about 3.5 hours. Like I said, we were right behind the Honda team. And then we got on one of those forbidden roads just for about 300 feet up through the mountains. And come morning time, I think we got fourth place. I went to score and wanted to check out the what happened with the VCPs. And the guy, wait a minute, you hit a forbidden line. That's 4 more hours. So we're like, oh. And the guy looked at me, maybe you shouldn't have come here.
Really?
It's like, man. So, but you know what? I'm super proud of her. Third place, Baja 500, even though they took it, we lost that. But her first race was San Felipe, and she got second place there too, and then the race before that, there was a big race, was a third place at the Mint about a year ago. So
that's awesome.
Things are going good. And,
yeah, are you proud of yourself, Ella? You should be really proud.
Yeah.
She just wants more. She wants to keep going.
That's exactly what I was going to ask, Ryan. Like, what's on your dream or bucket list now? Like, are you going to race, any more big races this year? Or what are you going to do?
We're planning on doing the rest of the score season this year.
It's a big commitment.
Yep. Right now she's currently third in points, behind Petter and Groom. Congratulations out to all those guys in our class. They did a heck of a job. And we'll show up at the 400, and she's going to try to drive the entire race. And if she gets tired, Dad will be there. Or get
bail her out.
But I don't plan on getting in that driver's seat at all, because I think last year what you rode with who with Cisco Bio, yeah. So she really wants to take it up through the mountains and up that coast.
Dude, it's so fun going through those.
It's a blast.
Those areas of Mexico are so cool. You're gonna love it. Hey, we asked Ethan Ebert just a second ago, if he's been working out and training, because when he first got into UTV, I feel like he would tell you the same thing too. He thought he was ready, but he wasn't quite ready. Are you doing anything like that? Are you on a special diet? Do you do anything specific that you or want to better yourself in the future?
I don't do anything.
Well, you don't have to, but I'm asking that question. What would you do if you did something, right?
I haven't really thought about that.
You can go train with George. He rode bikes for hundreds of
But
miles.
at that age where she can eat anything.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show, Eva. It was cool talking to you. Do you have anybody that you want to thank before we let you go?
Well, my dad.
Thank you.
And my mom.
Of course.
And
is your mom watching behind the scenes right now?
No, I don't know where she is.
She gets all nervous. I think she's in the house.
She didn't want you to put her on blast.
But
we got BFG Ridge, rugged radios, Shreddy. Shreddy takes care of Blake Wilkie and them. Mobile sewing machine repair. Baja bound insurance hooks up the cars and stuff. Fox shocks. The car was working unbelievable. I don't know if you've seen any of those stories she put up, but it looked like she was just riding on pillows. And they did a lot of testing with her, the week before the race. A benchmark performance. Chris and Landon out there got this thing dialed in. Transmission. They do all of our drivetrain and our tuning. Baja Designs, PRP, Star Mounts, Star Stream, of course, and Trinity and heat shields.
Hey, so one of the sponsors that I heard on there was pretty non-endemic. That's a sewing company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's our buddy Eddie Chakas. I don't know if you saw us in contingency, but he came with the big boom box. It's a mobile.
Yeah, I did see that.
Mobile sewing machine repair. And he repairs sewing machines, and he's mobile. And
there you go.
They say if you want to make money, you got to specialize in something, and Eddie's doing that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Also,
so Eva,
he also donated a Polaris Razor 1000 for her to pre-run in all season long.
That's huge.
That's
yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
So Eva, we talk about this all the time, and Ryan knows it better than anybody else. When you can get a sponsor that's not like a tire sponsor, that's called non-endemic, meaning it's outside of the normal racing world, you hold on to them for as long as you can, because those sponsors are very, very valuable, and it brings more eyes to our sport because they can show it to people that don't usually watch it. So keep him on your radar for as long as you can and help him out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Eddie's
cool to see that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he used to pit for the 1A quad like years ago, so he has some roots, and I think he's tied into the Ledesma family, 1600 legends.
That's so cool. All right, Eva, thank you very much for joining us on the show. Please tell your mom thank you as well. Thanks.
Good job at the 500.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thank you.
See you guys later.
Later, George.
All right.
Bye.
Later, Rhino. All right, so thanks to all our sponsors. We really appreciate everybody. I'm sorry I didn't mention at the beginning of the show because, we started off pretty quickly. So thanks to the guys over at Evolution Power Sports. Thanks to everybody at KMC Wheels. Thank you, everybody at Shock Therapy, Vision Canopy, Zolander Racing Products, and I'm probably forgetting somebody else. But thank you to all our sponsors, all our partners, and thank you guys for watching the show. See you guys next time. Peace.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show. See you next week.